Welcome to Level Sync, a Final Fantasy XI podcast with your hosts, DA Soccer, Caladrius, Lost Time Lord, and Quetch.
Hello everyone and welcome to Level Sync, a Horizon Final Fantasy XI podcast. We have an episode for you today on the stuff that's going to be coming with patch 1.2. Yeah, take 3.
Start over.
The stuff that's going to be coming through patch 1.2, but it has been delayed as we know. But before we get to any of that, let's first introduce our host for today's podcast. We have the Mage of the Level Sync podcast, DA Soccer.
Hey, what's up?
Next to him, we have Icy Caladrius, the Volker of the Level Sync podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And also joining us today for her second episode, AyameCat, the Ayame of the Level Sync podcast. Hello and welcome.
Thank you, Meowdy.
And last but not least, the President Karst of the Level Sync podcast, Lost Time Lord. How you doing, LTL?
Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ear. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh my god.
Very presidential.
Thank you. I tried. I do my best.
You said Romans and I immediately thought of it, so go ahead and tally that up to that TikTok thing.
At least I said it correctly.
TikTok thing?
Here we go.
There's a thing going around about how often guys think about the Roman Empire.
Oh, I've seen memes about that on Reddit.
Yeah, it's basically once, twice a week on average for guys. So he said Romans and immediately thought of it. I slid it in the last episode. We were looking at that city with the walls. I was like, it's almost like an assault on a keep, like during the Roman times. Nobody caught it. But go ahead.
Moving on. What have you guys been up to in the game these past couple weeks? The last episode we had was with the 3 devs. Very informative. Good long podcast. We dove into a lot of things about like the back end work that goes on. But what have y'all been up to? Let's start with Let's start with Cal. How about you? What have you been up to, man?
Well, we've been doing a lot of Sky, a lot of Bayako, a lot of Ginbu. 9, 10 Kirans the other night?
Yeah, I heard you guys did a bunch of Kirans.
Several. Me and LTL both got Osodes, so that was cool.
Congratulations.
Yeah, big congrats.
Did you get emotional again?
Maybe this time Quetch will actually put in the clip so everybody can see me getting emotional. And the first time I got it.
Taking a note. Clip of LTL showing emotion.
They're rare, but there is at least one.
He's not dead inside.
Just mostly.
And all Ayame got out of it was eternal trauma and sadness.
Dude, when Kieran turns and hits a tank, like...
Dude. Our tanks were like, there was one in the front and one in the back. We had freaking thieves doing SATA on them, but still, like, they would die. Freaking my Sith would die. Freaking people would hit the ground whenever he would do whatever, like, conal crap he was doing. It was
mostly Sith and Gimpers pulling massive hate with weapon skills. Like, that thing would be on castle and then be like, nope, turn, and then turn back. Just over.
Yeah, it's that conal swipe, man. As a thief, like, if I'm lining up for trick attack, I need to, like, get in and get out. Otherwise, I'm getting chonked.
You said one in the front and one in the back, and it reminded me. Thank you, LTL, for teabagging me up in Sky the other day. I appreciate that.
Oh, so speaking of things that we've been up to, I wanted to thank you I was totally almost forgot that. God, I'm so glad you reminded it. I don't mean to jump in here, but I'm totally going to jump in here. So there was a time, I don't know how it was, like last week or the week before.
Wednesday.
Okay, so last Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we were up there farming Sky, doing some impromptu action. And, as everybody knows, like, Byakko is the most coveted of the lesser gods, right? Like, Genbu's cool. There's some stuff you can get from him. Suzy and Seiryu, they're whatever. Like, you can get some good, decent stuff from them. But Byakko is where it's at because you get those kitty pants. And everybody wants some kitty pants, right? So that makes Despot a very highly contested pop person. Because Uli, like, you just farm the statues and you get your own pops. There's no, like...
You're not gated by anything but your time.
Exactly. So, Despot, the window's clearly open, and we're up there. We pop up there, and lo and behold, DA and his group of totally not flunkies comes up there, and like, they're killing statues and we're killing statues, and we pull everything back, towards the palace so that we're not getting unnecessary aggro. And we're fighting this, our statue, and the Despot pops for us, awesome. And as we're like, engaging Despot, DA's group either like wasn't paying attention, or like, I don't know what happened there, but all of a sudden, like 7 of them are dead. Just like dead. So we're like, oh, somebody got fucking meltdowned. So like their entire party is wiped. I can see you want to say something, so go ahead, please do.
When you popped Despot, we already had one on the way, and then when Despot popped and you guys were fighting it, I was the only one engaging the one they brought. So all the black mages that are there to do what's that fucking stun meltdown, they were just watching you. So when it blew up and everyone died, I was just a casualty of paying attention. And trust me, black mages got a little talking to at that point in time. But go ahead, continue.
All right. No, I'm glad for the backstory. We're fighting Despot, and then I see DA's group like pretty much die entirely. And if you guys know anything about DA and Goodwill, his I guess now former Link show, one of the very first events that he ever had was called the Teabag Festival. And what the Teabag Festival consisted of was, if any of the people in that Link shell were dead in the game, and especially officers and especially DA, and if they were dead in the world and you found them dead and you teabagged them and took a screenshot, you would get points towards a reward at the very end. So though I knew that the Teabag Festival was not currently in season, I decided that since I saw a dead DA and I knew he'd see me, I was just like, I took it upon myself, because I had Ramu out. Ramu was doing business. Don't think I was not paying attention. Like, I had blood pacted. The old man was taking care of Despot in his own way. So I decided to drop my taint on DA's neck. And, I got a few, I think the whispers I got were something along, I don't remember what the first one was, but the second was, I would have done the same thing, man. Like, bravo, I would have done the same thing.
That's exactly what it was. I wasn't going to hate.
So it was pretty funny. And then that Despot dies. No, before that. So like somebody else in his group had gotten aggro on a statue that then, like, while it was purple, was aggroing people in my group.
Ooh.
Like, it looked like an MPK, though I know it wasn't an MPK because I know those people and I know they wouldn't do that. But it's certainly like, if they didn't know, if the people who were like, if other people were in our situation and that was happening to them, would probably been like, I'm calling it GM, this is an MPK. But obviously we knew that that's not what was happening. But for some reason, the statue that was aggroed to one of their guys, like, started aggroing onto like our white mage and then our red mage, and like we were trying to zone it, but it would come back and come after one of us every time. So we had to yell at their guy, like, "What the fuck, man? Will you please get back on this thing?" So they got it, but we got the Despot kill, and then approximately 2 hours later, when the Despot window opens again, we were all crowded around Mother Globe for a while, right? And our tank left to go XP. So we didn't have the firepower or the tank power to kill Mother Globe. So we made an executive decision that we were like, okay, well, the Despot window is clearly back open, so let's go back and try to get Despot again. So we escape out, and their group, or not all of them, but some of them, like, it seemed like they were following us, but I don't think that's what was happening. I think it was more like they realized that it was open as well, and we just made the decision at the same time. So we go out there and we start killing statues, and they're killing statues right next to us, and we got Despot again, and we got 2 fucking autumn stones. Gems of the West, and they got 0, and we wound up getting 2 extra Biakos to kill on our Saturday before Kieran. So thank you, DA. Wanted to make sure we mentioned that. Yeah,
we were not following you. We knew TOD.
Of course, because you were there, because you died. Yeah, we know.
My face was eating dirt. I'm fully 100%. We had a group coming up that was better for MG. We were staying there in case MG popped. And then once they came up and took our spot, then we went to Despot and lost again. So I appreciate that. Thank you. Your balls need to be washed, by the way. They were disgusting.
It was a little moist. They were a little moist at that point, weren't they?
Yeah.
I think I need to wash my relic pants. They need a
Yeah,
good washing.
please. Disgusting.
No problem.
Can I
Yeah.
interject a despot story here since we're on the topic?
Of course, yeah. It seems like a good time for it.
We've had mixed results with pulling like multiple of the wall. The golems? Are they golems?
No, those are like we call them
Statues?
statues, but
Statues.
they're they have a name in the game. I can't think of what it is.
So
Guardian or
doll.
something?
Guardians. Yeah, they're
A
guardians.
doll. Hold on.
There are dolls in the game. Yeah.
Anyway, the
They are
wall
dolls.
statues, the ones that aggro on sight if you get too close. So we've had mixed results with pulling a few of them and having like black mages gaw them down to try to like mass like kill and try to pop despot that way. And one of our unsuccessful attempts, I decided to flee and collect probably all of them. I think there was maybe one or two that were dead from a previous kill. So we have like, it's like 20 something statues and I'm incoming and the black mage start to gaw and like they didn't sleep in time. So we got like all the statues in the like 20 to 35, 40% range of health. And then we just got walloped. Now here's the thing about those statues is they actually aggro on sight. So once we all died, it started to aggro the other people who were camping Despot at the time. And
Because
so
they don't depop. They just run. They run back. Yeah.
exactly. So people start kiting in all different directions. All right. At this point, we start raising and re-raising, but only to find out we're not actually off the hate table yet because the mobs haven't had a chance to reset. So
yeah.
there are statues that have gone towards the shrine entrance. There are statues that people are like trying to kill unsuccessfully, but other people are now getting killed and wiped. When that's happening, then the statues are coming back and killing us who freshly re-raised. At some point, the entire area is just covered with these statues that are all aggro on sight. Like even if they get like unclaimed, they would start pathing back towards the walls and then just aggro more people again because nobody's expecting to get aggroed sight if you're down that middle section there. And it was just an absolute bloodbath. That entire Despot area for probably a half hour before
Are
it got
you
under
prepping for
control.
like besieged or some shit?
NPK Quetch.
It really was a group effort at that point to like stabilize that whole area. I don't even remember when or if Despot popped during that scenario, but next time we sleep better, I guess.
I love that. That's a great story. Glad I wasn't there. I mean, I wish I had been there to see it, but I'm glad I wasn't there to be a part of the carnage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to be part of the dead bodies on the ground?
No. What only other thing I want to add to the what we've been up to what Cal had said about our Kieran kills is that we did 9 earlier in the week, which was our first since kind of our rebuild and our new collaborations that we're doing. Collabed with Loot and Scoot, bunch of awesome guys, really close friends. But there was the 9th that we got, again, like I said, in our previous attempt at this. I'm not going to call anybody out and call any names because there were some pretty cool people in that group. But there was a group of people who were there. We went first. We did our first Kieran. Then we let them go. But there was only 12 of them. And like I said, there was a ninja tank that was trying to kite. And then they were trying to do the kite while killing the ads. And then once the summons, then once the summons were dead, I guess they were going to converge on it and kill the Kieran. They wiped, unfortunately for them, but fortunately for us. And we weren't like sneaky about it. Like we actually whispered their leader and we're like, hey, so when you guys wipe, like obviously we're taking this, you know what I mean? Like we weren't trying to be dickheads about it because it was an inevitability. Like there was no way they were going to win that fight once it had started, once we saw what was going on. And even before they pulled it, we said, like, if you guys call for help on the ads, like, we'll help kill them. Like, you know what I mean? Because we wanted to push this along because we had a bunch
Well,
of...
remember, we offered them a group on one of our melee parties.
And we did.
join.
We even offered them a party of our alliance. That's right. I forgot about that. Thanks, Cal. We offered them a party, and they were like, "No, we got this." We're like, "Okay." So they wiped, and we took the Kieran, and we got from that free Kieran. My boy Sith got a N body, which he's already turned in and made into the Hecatome harness, which is awesome. Congrats to him. And we got a D ingot and a shining cloth, which are currently up on the auction house. We'll be splitting the profits from that. And yeah, so that was a pretty awesome night. We made out really well. As Cal said, both he and I got the Osode. We had
Does that have luck on Byaku and stuff, or no?
Byaku, like I said, not like I said, but we got one pair of kitty pants in. We had 3 pops that night. Was it 3 or 2? We
Yeah,
had
it was
3.
3.
At 3, we got one pair of kitty pants out of 3 of our kills. So those went to Zeno. So congrats to Zeno.
Congrats.
And from Kieran, in our 4 pops, we got 3 W legs, and all 3 of our main paladins wound up with the W legs. So they're all looking to buy Cursed Queeses -1 to turn them into fast pants.
If they want them crafted, hit me up. If you
Yeah,
guys-
I think some of them are trying to gather materials. Others of them are trying to gather gil, because it's like 1.8 mil or something currently
is.
for the -1s.
and that's about as low as I'd go right now, just because the Dragon Bloods
Sure.
are up. They're like 100 something K each.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them are farming Dragon Bloods. You
It's a
know,
good idea.
you can get Dragon Bloods from. There's bats in the Nightmare Bats
Nightmare
in Sea
bats.
Serpent Grotto and Ifrit's Cauldron that drop with a 1% chance they drop Dragon Blood. So I know that at least we have at least 1 or 2 of our paladins are farming them that way, trying to get the Dragon's Bloods. But yeah, so grats to all of our paladins. That's Gozer, Murdoch, and Snoochie Booch, the Snoochers, on your W legs. And yeah, the only other thing I wanted to say was to my boy Omega that Dark Knights suck. So yeah, I promised I would say that. They suck harder than Carby, and I just wanted to mention that to everyone on the stream. So yeah. So cheers, that's what I've got.
12-man Kieran, dude. Even if they didn't wipe, like that DPS check though, I can't imagine. Like that should take forever.
Yeah, we were expecting like a 45-minute to an hour Kieran, provided that they could actually stabilize everything. Yeah. But it would have been like 45 minutes to an hour for that kill. We had our kills down to like 15 minutes, like 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes in our kills.
15, 20, yeah. They had a Nin and a Paladin, well, a Taru Paladin, that was trying to bounce hate back and forth and kite, but it wasn't working out for him.
Do you guys do a bard rotation to get that kill speed or no?
We
just have 3 bards.
Okay. We had 3 bards. And what we did was normally, like the way that we've done it, one of the ways that we've done it in the past is to have like, a melee party and a black mage party, and then just skill chain and blow it the fuck up with black mages. But this time, because we had superior melee damage, like we had, and I'm not trying to blow my own horn here, but with the collaboration with the Loot and Scoot guys, we had some of the best geared melee damage on the server in our party. And we meleeed, like we had a melee burn. And it was like free weapon skill like the whole time. And our black mage party, the outside, we had them in the outside party. We had like 2 parties in the outside alliance. One was black mages and me, and like the random assortment of like white mages and whoever else was there, like a beastmaster and stuff. And we would kill the summons, and they just fucking melee burned down Kieran like remarkably quickly, and had 3 bards in the main alliance. Yeah.
All right,
it was impressive. Behold, yeah.
So other than Kieran, Cal, what else you been up to over there? Anything to share?
We did OHAT yesterday. So a lot of the people from
did.
Cat Cafe got OHATs, including myself, Ayame, who else? Zeno,
9 of us.
Okami, and 9 of
9
us.
of us total, yeah.
Calypsy, I think, got his. Yeah, that was a fun one. I thought Hakutaku was harder in my previous retail experience of it, but it was pretty easy.
We
had
had so many
18
people, though.
We had
Yeah.
18 people, and
Come
you
on.
had some fairly well geared melee again, killing Hakutaku.
Yeah, it was trivial, and it was fun.
But it was fun. War's 73 now, so almost there. I got bought my dusk hands and feet. I bought a Woodville axe, and now I'm in crippling poorness. So I have to go back to the elms.
Back to the forest for you, man.
I still need a couple more pieces. But yeah, no, that's about all I've been up to is Sky and OHAT and trying to get War 75.
and the litany of ENMs that we're doing now with Ayame
Yeah,
and Sith
true.
and Verity. Yeah, we got a bunch of we're doing a lot of the Tavnasia based ENMs. Like Cal and I used to just do uninvited guests together. It's easy as a duo. He would be warrior, I would be summoner, and that thing would die in sub 1 minute. I know that Ayame and Sith were doing it as well, but now Cal and I are also doing
Spice
the
Gals?
Spice Gals, the Ovens Lost, the Monarch Beard ENM,
Mm-hmm.
and the Uninvited Guest. So we're like doing all of those as often as we can, and we're
And
doing
we're-
also
Yeah.
and the Mithram Trackers. We're doing the X's Knife one now as well.
Oh, who are you guys trying to get a knife for?
Ayame.
Oh yeah, right, you're thief. Good luck.
Mhm.
Good luck.
I will need it. Thank you. Take that luck.
I haven't used my KI in a while. If you have like some extra people with a KI and want to have a small like extra group go or something, I don't mind using my KI. Because you don't have to be in the BCNM. So like if
Right,
you
we would already be there. So if we do it on the same day,
We just
yeah,
have to
could
be
just
on
hop in the party.
Boneyard Gully, or
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we would just have to be in the gully, and then he could invite us if he gets the drop. Yeah, that'd be great.
There was weird stuff though when we went in there for the first time.
Oh
right,
yeah,
LCL?
I forgot about
Right.
that.
Yeah.
It loaded in all messed up, kind of like how in COP where there was like Omega and like all the mammoths that loaded that one time, and it was all messed up. It was the trackers, and then like what was the other ENM?
I don't
It was like
know.
ghosts and skeletons.
What?
Yeah.
All there, yeah. They were like
Yeah,
I don't know
there's
the
like
name of
30
the
of
other
them.
E&M. I don't know the name of the other E&M, but like we went in there to do the 3 trackers, right? It was our 1st try. And in addition to the 3 Mithras and the 2 pets, like all around the BCNM arena were ghosts and skeletons from a different E&M just chilling in there, like just hanging out. Like apparently, according to Zeno, it was like, I don't remember the name of the other E&M, but they were supposed, like in the E&M that they're supposed to be in, they're like dead bodies on the ground. And it was them, but they weren't dead. I don't think we could interact with them. I don't think they could aggro us, but they were all just
I don't
there.
know.
There was
We
probably
don't
We
know
like,
if
just
they would.
skirted wide around
Yeah.
and went down to the tracker.
Listen,
yeah, there was like 20 or 30 of them hanging out. It was insane.
in my months of doing the X's Knife run, I've seen a lot of random things happen in that BCNM. That is a first.
Yeah, it was really weird, and it was our first time doing it. It was really weird.
I do highly suggest breaking your party and reforming for that one. When I started doing that is when I stopped having issues. Because like back then, like you'd go in and like there wouldn't even like you couldn't target some of the Shikaris, or like some of the Shikaris wouldn't load. It was really bad. And ever since I've been breaking and reforming, it's helped. So just
Do you
a
mean
tip.
like before we enter, we break party, reform, and then enter?
While you're in the zone where you enter the BCNM, break your party.
Boneyard
then.
Gully.
Yeah, while
And-
you're
okay.
while you're there, break your party, reform it, and then enter.
Okay. We can
Yeah.
do that. When we do that, I'll be like, remember what Quetch said, guys? We need to break our party and reform.
Listen, you get one chance a week. You know, you might
Oh,
as
you're
well.
not wrong. You're not wrong.
Oh man, yeah, but our group's been doing the same thing with uninvited guests, Spice Gals, all that. Yeah, we've been for a while now, kind of weaving those 3 things together. I will say, Fire in the Sky hasn't been profitable in a long time, but we still weave it in. Might as well.
What was that other one we did with Zeno and Okami?
The Hippogriff.
Atlantis?
Where we killed,
And
yeah, we
something-
killed the
and-
Hippogriff, where it summons like Hippogriff pets. I forget what it's called, level 50 cap, I think it was.
It's
wasn't it?
Atlantia or Atlantis or something
Atlantean,
like that.
something
It's
like
in
that, yeah, yeah.
Monarch Land.
Right.
We did that one with them too.
And it drops base of aluminum ore, but then there's like level 50 rings that can drop or something too. Something Atlantean. Yeah.
All right. Well, Ayame, do you have anything else to add? Because it seems like you guys have been doing a lot of stuff together these past few weeks.
I've been leveling up my white mage. My white mage is like 64 right now, and I just got like my last AF piece, which was my body. Thank you to Dippy and Snooch and Sith. I was like, I need this body piece. I've been asking for it, and it took the longest. Well, it didn't take that long to get the stupid bell. Have you had to farm that bell? Tavnasium bell? That shit took
no.
a while.
Man, that's a thank
Yeah.
you to Warscard for coming out and helping with that.
Yeah. Warscar came out, Cal was there, Illin. Who else was out there?
Ellen, yeah. Just me, you, Warscard, and Ellen.
Yeah, and then Sith was just up there and he hit the switches for us, and
Yeah.
we ditched him up there.
He was a switch bitch.
LDM.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the process there? You have to farm a bell to spawn an NM
You
or
farm
something?
a bell. You farm a bell from these freaking stalkers or whatever. Then you take that bell and you trade it in Fei Yin. And it's bugged, by the way. Like, I don't know if they're gonna fix this or not, but like that NM was moved eventually for retail. So I think that they have the spawn location for him, not the same location where the question marks are. So he takes a while to run. And it's been like that because we went and fought him a while ago for Sith's brother. Same thing. It says like you sense a conspicuous evil presence or something, and it takes him like 2 minutes or less
'cause
to run from wherever the heck he spawns.
The question marks are supposed to be in the big center room where you go for Red Mage hat to fight
Advisor
the
Murphy,
ghost.
yeah.
Yeah, Murphy. Those question marks are supposed to be there, but they're actually like way up a hallway in like a little sub room up top. And when you click him, he spawns in that room and runs through the walls all the way to where you're at. So
Yeah,
he just
he
kind of
was, like-
bursts through the wall like the Kool-Aid man.
He did. He was up in the wall too. He wasn't like ground level. He was in the wall, like floating, casting an Aga spell on us or whatever.
Is he a ghost? Because like this seems on brand.
He's
A
one of
foamer or
He's a
something.
Foamer.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
More,
Yeah.
Something
With the last name,
Tavnasia, something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker has a ton of HP. Like a ton of
16
HP.
to 17,000.
I-
They made short work of him though.
I duoed that
Kill him
thing with
quick.
Arikas on his White Mage on Paladin, and it was fucking awful. We were there forever fighting that thing.
You were the one that helped Sith's brother, and you and Sith were on like under-leveled paladins killing that thing forever. And I was like, I'm gonna have to get help for this, and I was asking for a week and finally got some help. So I'm happy to get that done. Have I done anything else? Oh, you said that I'm Ayame. And I kind of am. I went with Tomane to freaking the Boyata tree. We've been trying to break his sword so he could get Savage Blade. And I was
You've been
like,
opening
hey,
skill
I'm
chains?
like, yeah, I'm opening skill chains for you.
I
like
didn't
the
get
freaking
invited.
like
Well,
the trust.
I think the
You
other
were
thing that you forgot
busy.
to mention, Ayame
forgot.
was that you have a sword that sometimes attacks 2 times.
Oh yeah.
True. Oh
Tell
my
the
gosh, I
story
should tell
about
the
that
story.
night. Tell the story about that
Oh.
night. Don't mention names, but tell the story, please, because that's a good story.
So I got TOD. I just left my character out there and I was like, good luck. You better figure this out. Came back to the TOD and it was like, okay, perfect. I'm going to come back here, during the day and figure this out. I go over there. I'm freaking just killing them. I get help from LTL. Xeno was out there. Sith was out there. Who else was out there? Tomane?
A couple
He's
people
out there.
came out. Yeah, a couple
Yeah.
people came out.
We're all out there and we're killing the placeholders. And I'm like, when is this guy going to spawn? Because I think it took maybe like over 2 hours or something like that.
It was
after
closer to
his-
3 or so, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was taking a while. And we were just killing the placeholders the whole time. And all of a sudden, some Beastmaster rolls up. And I'm like, oh no. Is he gonna do what I think he's gonna do? Freaking the stupid placeholder. This is a bug, by the way. And they said that they fixed it, but it's clearly not fixed because this happened to Snooch too. The freaking placeholder pops and the freaking Charybdis pops at the same time. They said that it's not supposed to do that, but it's doing that. And the freaking Beastmaster was able to grab it, right? So I'm just sitting here, literally about to cry because I've been out there for a good hot minute. And the Beastmaster pulls it. He's pulling it out the room like, where
And
the hell's
runs.
he going? Yeah,
Motherfucker
he's
takes
running.
off.
He's running. And I'm like, I need that TOD. You can't just leave with that. Like, you already took it. So we're following him. He falls down. He seems like he's trying to go to like Norg or something. And all of a sudden, I see something so beautiful. A DC symbol next to his name.
He red dotted. He fucker red dotted, yeah.
I was like, is he gonna DC? Is he gonna DC? Is he about to fucking DC? He DCs and we snag it and we take it. I'm like, oh, like freaking before he even spawned Charybdis or whatever, I was like, please, Altana, bless me, come on. Freaking he DC'd, we took it, we melted him because like that Beastmaster was by himself and I think he literally was getting reinforcements, but he DC'd and they lost claim and we took it, we snagged that thing and I got me a nice shiny Joy Toy.
And it took him like 5 minutes to log back in. He kept trying to log in,
Yeah,
but he kept red dotting
his
every time he
character-
logged in.
Oh.
He wasn't waiting for him to actually like exit the game, and he kept trying to log in, and he kept red dotting. And then he eventually logged in, and he was like, "Well, tough luck, GG." And then he was like, after we killed it, he's like, "Could I get a D2?" And we're like, "Yeah, sure." We invited him for a D2.
Pity D2. Damn.
The shame D2.
Yeah, well, you know, life happens, right?
I got that. I also got something else that's super nice for my thief. You know what I'm talking about?
The TH neck?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Some shoes.
Ayame got a pair of Strider boots.
Striders?
They did.
Yeah, we've gotten
Mhm.
3 pairs in the past like 3 weeks.
Lucky.
Yeah, so I'm running around. I'm running around. I used my DKP on it. They're like, "Do you want to use your DKP?" And I'm like, "Absolutely, I do."
Yes, please.
Whirlwind slam that DKP.
And she also got her fucking Red Mage chest and hat that she's forgetting to mention.
I
too.
did. I freaking macroed it in. Oh, it's so much
Relic
better.
From
Oh.
Yes,
Bananas.
yes, relic.
Yeah,
Relic has
10%
the refresh.
fast cast on the body, right?
Body, yes.
Yeah.
The body has that, and then I have refresh on my hat. And I'm like, what am I gonna do with this vermilion cloak now?
Give it to LCL
Save
because
it.
he needs one for his Black Mage.
I'm gonna use it on my white mage for now until I get a nobles.
If you were planning on
Then
doing
give it
back.
Summoner,
Okay.
Summoner uses it for a while.
Until they get Yin Yang robe and then it's useless.
Yeah. Then you sell it.
Or you give it to your friend LTL for his
Or that. I think LTL wants it, Ayame.
A pity vermilion is what LTL wants.
I don't give a shit if it's a pity. It's like, okay. It works the same. It doesn't matter how I got it.
I think that's it for me. I had a lot of good stuff.
Yeah,
like
sounds
the
like
past couple weeks.
sounds like
a lot.
sounds like a big couple weeks for you. DA, do you want to flip a coin here? You want to go first, or you want me to take it?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Alright.
I got a wonderful story that I gotta share. So you get it first.
Our LS has had a little bit of item luck lately too. We got our second riddle.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, I mean, just like the amount of Fafnirs we've killed, it's like good to finally like be getting the good drop. Oh, we lost a Nidhogg though. Okay, another LS had the Nidhogg, and they were fighting it, and they were actually on track to win.
I heard about this.
Yes,
Go ahead.
they were on track to win. They were doing a pretty good job. I think. I honestly, because I know some of the people that were kind of there fighting it. I think it was maybe their first. So you know, if any of you are out there listening, whoever, I forget the name of the link shell. You know, good effort. You guys got it really close. They got it to like 20 something %, and it was getting close to 1 hour though. And as far as anybody understood, at 1 hour, Nidhogg is supposed to rage, become stronger and stronger, potentially regen health. I'm not exactly versed in how the rage mechanic works here. Nobody, even as this was going on, like some of the other endgame link shells were like sending tells to each other, like, what's going to happen here? Like, what does this thing do when it rages? And nobody had a great answer because the only one anybody could remember was like first or second week that the Kings were on Horizon. So nobody.
I was there when that one happened.
You were there?
Kipling's link shell was the one who raged it.
Okay.
They all got fucking wiped. And then the mighty RFK took it and got our first Nidhogg kill that night. That was the same night
There you
that
go.
I got my Yin Yang robe because after we killed Nidhogg, Shikigami was up.
Okay.
I rolled in there 30 deep. RFK got the kill and I got my Yin Yang robe. Sorry.
Okay, I remember that story now that you bring up the yin yang robe along with it. So they get to like 20 something %, but they just wipe normally. You know, it gets under 25 and it starts TP moving more often. So they just like wipe normally. And so meanwhile, we've had people like escape and come back, go to the ledge in Dragon's Eyrie. Like there's other endgame LSs there where like that didn't look like a rage. Like I stayed in the pit because I figured Thief has perfect dodge. If we want to try to claim early, because normally you would want to let it reset its HP and remove its rage. We're like, if we want to claim early, I'll stay in the pit. I've got perfect dodge. It'll take us a second to figure out if this thing's raged or not. You know, maybe we give it a shot. The other LSs may be thinking the same thing, or they may just be waiting for the reset. Either way, we got to make a decision here. So a bunch of us were all up on the ledge. A couple of us were in the pit. And the other LS wiped. And we're like, screw it, we're claiming. Claimed it at like 20, I think we got it at 22%. So we're fighting, and it has not raged yet. It's a normal fight. It's taking normal damage. It's not doing anything crazy. And we were on track to win. We got it to 2%, and it raged, and immediately regened by 5%. So, quick aside mention, myself and 2 of the black mages got wiped with breath the moment we pulled, so we were a little short on DPS anyway. I was one of the only melee that was even like there at the time. We had one person, so we couldn't even skill chain for the black mages.
My boy Gamer was there. He told me about this. Was Gamer helping you guys?
Gamer was there, yeah. He was one of the black mages.
Yeah.
He was one of the surviving black mages.
Mhm.
And man, 2%, and then instantly jumped to 7. We didn't have the DPS to put out to bring it back down to 0, and ended up just basically wiping from there. Another endgame LS got it, or they waited for the thing to refresh to 100 before claiming. Of course, the smart thing you're supposed to do. But man, we had a chance.
Was it the
2%?
Was it the scummy cum colored pearl that got it?
It was another endgame LS.
Oh, okay, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Honestly, personally, I mean, I would have liked to see that first LS get a kill. You know what I mean? Like, there's only, so many chances you get at these kind of things, and it is what it is. But it was really tense, and it was really interesting. All the banter back and forth between the other shells, like what's going to happen here, and our own shell, do we claim this, do we not? And it was really tense time. And even though we wiped, it was like that was still like a really cool moment playing this game as sort of that, in the pit, the sort of end game pit of Dragon's Eyrie. It felt like the old days in that regard. So yeah, so that's been some of the end game stuff. A couple of like other things. I got my goldsmith mule to 90.
Wow.
It's been a journey. That
You gonna
craft
be doing
is
some,
hard.
You be doing some free elemental ore cuts because I got 3 lightning ores for you.
I just got through my.
Shouting.
Thank you.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. You're doing elemental ore cuts?
I was until level 87.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I would hit you up and let you use the 3 that I have.
82 to 87 was all cuts, and I've been shouting and asking friends, growing my own ores.
What's your
It's
alt's name?
cute.
Fruit cup.
Fruit cup. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I have 3. I mean, I'll let you cut them if you want. Otherwise, I'll just sell them.
It's all good. If you need a cut, just let me know and I'll do it for you. But I'm past the point of skill up, so yeah. But anyway, I hit 87 on cuts, and then I dumped some gil into getting to 88 so I could get my fool's gold. I don't know if you guys know the guild item for goldsmithing is like Fort Knox, like bricks of gold in your Mog house. Yeah.
That's really cool.
I'll throw a screenshot in our chat or something. But yeah, so I got my Fort Knox gold, and I had Matt saved up because once I got past that cutting phase, then you can just buy materials and craft like normal. It's a little expensive, but and got her to 90. So looking forward to crafting manteals and stuff like that. Let's see. And the only other thing I wanted to bring up, because I know I've been talking about my Limbus journey here on the podcast, is we did both Ultima and Omega tonight, one of each. It's just how our like items lined up and our runs lined up. And tonight was actually the luckiest night our Limbus group has had in like the 5-6 months we've been meeting like regularly. We got a triple drop from Ultima, head, body, legs, our first legs in months and months and months of doing this content. And Omega dropped our second set of pants and a feet and 2 chips, which were the exact 2 chips we needed for a second Ultima pop.
Oh, wow.
We had 2 chips. It dropped the other 2.
Nice.
And
The gun pods?
Yes. And
Nice.
I got my legs, my Homam legs. It's been such a long journey. It's the last important piece. The body is still great, but it's the last important piece I needed from Homam for a Thief. So
Congrats.
thank you. DA with the golf clap.
Yep. Golf clap.
Yeah, that's about all I want to go over today for myself. So DA, why don't you cap us off with what we've been up to here on today's podcast?
With all this in-game talk, I have not been doing that. I've been catching up on things. But I, first off, have been leveling sub-jobs. I've got all my casters, White Mage, Black Mage, and Red Mage, all to 37, and I think I'm going to be taking White Mage to 75. Brought that up last time. It's making good solid progress. I don't want to hit it too hard because I'm trying to stay within levels of a ninja friend. Because if you have a tank and if you have White Mage, DPS feels you can do easily. But usually those two are the ones hard to fill. So I'm hanging with him as we go. Leveling Dragoon. Dragoon's a lot of fun. It's not too high yet. I think I'm 32 so far, so still just popping off what I can. I have been progressing COP. And when I say progressing COP, Diabolos is a bitch. That was easy. Like, there was no problem in that whatsoever. We over prepared for it and just clapped him. It was absolutely no problem and finished that. And we're like, awesome. Since that was so easy and that's where we left off last time, let's do the next few missions. So we get our group together. We do all the like cutscenes and run around. What is it? The Sacrium or something? Or what is it?
Sacrarium.
Sacrarium. Yeah, I can't even say it when you.
No,
Shut up. No, we're gonna do
Aquarium.
Aquarium.
No.
Not an aquarium.
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 There you go. Thank you.
The Sacrussi.
So we get in
Welcome
there.
in this
and
Sacrussi. Yeah, sorry.
I have the map up with the map, like the place changes and the maze and everything like that. And we're like, all right, full 6, everybody on me. Let's go through this. We got to kill a couple NMs, get the items, open the doors. We got to do some shit. So we're going through there, and one of the people in my group is like, hey, you're about to get an alliance invite. Take it. I was like, all right, perfect. Hit it. We're a 18-man group. There's apparently 2 other parties that were doing it as well. And we're like, oh man, this is going to be great. 18 man. So we run through a couple pulls here and there, a couple people random dies, nothing big. And we get to the point where you got to like, there's 6 rooms and you got to talk to the question marks to randomly spawn one of the ghost NMs with
The
2.
professor?
Yeah, the professor. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, all right, so what we're going to do, we're all 18 of us, we're going to go up and we're going to click at the question mark after clearing the room. If it doesn't pop it, we'll remove to a new room. And I was like, okay. We opened the door, and as soon as the door opens, I've got to sneak on me. And I was like, I straight Leroy Jenkins it. I ran in there. I was like, it's not going to be 1 for 1. I clicked the question marks. The professor spawns. It starts raging on, like, just beating the shit out of everybody since it's a level cap. Everybody's coming into the room. We're aggroing everything under the blue moon.
Oh, no.
Everybody starts dying. I MPK the entire 18-man alliance with that pull. Except one person didn't die. Me. I actually ended up glitching in a stair where nothing could target me. And I was low. I had like 40 health. And at that point, the whole room, everybody's just dying in a corner. People are like, why'd you pull it? Raging. I kneel down. I med to 100%. I reach out with a GM ticket saying I'm stuck. They unstick me. I go over and click the question mark so I get my key item. But I killed the entire fucking alliance. I'm the only one to not lose XP. And I'm the one that Leroy Jenkins did. So I'm pretty sure I'm on people's blacklists now. But it was funny. I just didn't mean for it to kill everyone. Yeah. The entire alliance except me. Everybody's dead.
You know what that is, DA?
That was Sky, me calling for help again.
That's
fucking embarrassing.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking embarrassing, is what that is.
So eventually we cleaned up, finished that up. All of us got the key item, blah blah blah, and we run every Friday. So just still making progress when we can. I'll catch up to you guys at some point in time. No real rush for me. But yeah, that's I think it for me.
Sacrarium's definitely one of the
Let's go.
harder quests. Like some groups get through okay, other groups get through with a lot of like deaths. Like it's very swingy.
Yeah,
Made enemies and friends there.
Hugin was in our group, and he's like, "You killed everybody." And I sent him the meme of not just the men, but the women and the children. I hate them. I killed them like animals. And yeah, so it was a full MPK that I was
I hate
responsible
sand.
for. I hate sand. It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
It's everywhere.
All right.
But no, just been leveling
Yeah.
in the meantime. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we are going to move on to the meat of the podcast. As mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking about what we're looking forward to or hope to come with patch 1.2. One thing that we actually have a date on, however, before we get to that, is the Harvest Festival is going live on October 13th. So that's exciting. I don't know what to expect. Has anybody heard anything outside of the announcement?
No, but I want the little staff.
And I want the
The-
pumpkin head. Pumpkin head means a lot to me. That's what it's very important to me. Pumpkin head.
See,
I'll agree with LTL. I want the pumpkin head. Galco
You don't
with
want a little
pumpkin head.
bat staff?
No. Other
Bat
than to
staff
use
is
the
cool.
what is it? The trick or the treat staff that warps?
I think they
The
both
treat
do.
staff.
Do they both warp?
I thought the treat staff gave you free candy.
I can't load it up if somebody wants to load it up. One of them warps you though, but I think you need to melee with it.
The Trick Staff 2 has warp of 10 charges on it,
Oh.
but there's another Treat Staff 2 that is a 1-for-1 charge. So there's a normal quality and a high quality version of it. The high quality is a level 2 all jobs 1 of 1 30-second put it on and go 20-hour recast. So kind of the same as the Perogano Isle body.
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of. Is the one you can use over and over and over, but it has a timer.
20-hour.
I must have read something different then, because the staff I was looking at said you needed to melee to proc it.
There
think
is
it
a
was-
regular treat staff that actually has a latent effect warp on it, but the treat
that's the
staff
one.
2 is the 1-for-1.
Oh, okay.
So there's a trick staff and trick staff 2, and then the high quality trick staff and trick staff 2. So it's technically 4 staffs we're talking about here. Yeah, it's a lot of staffs. We have no idea what's included, what's not included. I know the little throw up costume that I saw Puck was wearing it at one point with the, like green. It's like the orange, or I'm sorry, the red body, and it's got the bugged eyes, and it's got like the throw up coming out of its mouth costume.
Zerdy?
I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, I forget what the name of it is, but it's the Flan NM.
Yeah. That one.
Yeah.
Not the Cum Custard, but the other one. That one, it was a costume as well. I heard you. Yeah, I heard you. No, I got all the items up on here, so no telling what's going to be included, what's not. We'll see. I'm very excited. It was the first ever event I did in Final Fantasy XI. And when I loaded into the game for the first time, this event was going on, so I'm excited about it.
What was I can't, for some reason, this one's blanking to me. What is even the event? Like, what is like the activity that happened
trade
back in the
candy.
day?
You have to like trade candy to certain races, and once you trade certain candy to races, like you can like as you trade candy, like you have a chance to get a treat or a trick. As you like every time you trade, it's either a treat or a trick, and like you have a chance to get stuff. That's what I remember about it. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's what it is. Like you trade to NPCs or
Yeah, it
something.
could be like cookies and stuff.
Yeah, like cookies and candy. Sweets, yeah. And then you can like later on there was like the weird purple pumpkin that was like rotten or something that you could get too. I don't remember. There was a weird purple pumpkin though. I do know that for a fact. I don't know if it was a headpiece or something, but there was a weird purple pumpkin.
Anyway, we have confirmation that will be live on the 13th. Potentially, I don't know, maybe there's some kind of Horizon spin on it. I vaguely remember somebody saying that it was going to be pretty close to what they had in retail this time around and not so fully custom, but we'll see when that comes. So for the 1.2 stuff, I've got some things grouped. We're not going to be going over too many specifics of what exactly they announced in the announcement. That was in a previous episode. But I have some things grouped together here, some of which I will have a little extra information, stuff that's been gleaned from either Discord. Maybe these guys have found some information as well along the way. But in general, it's just more like what we're looking forward to. And I'll start with this first group of things that we were expecting to come with 1.2. It was the Adventuring Fellows, the Shatter / Alpha Camps, and new quests being added to the game, to Horizon.
Yeah, I remember, wasn't it Kippers that was talking to us about the Shatter camps and the like he mentioned that when we interviewed him. I'm excited. Like it's kind of like you have to be like because I think I asked the question about like what do those of us who have like tons of endgame gear and want to use that gear in an XP camp, like what options do we have? And he mentioned something about like Shatter camps being like they were working on something where like only the Chads could go and do the XP there with the gear that they have. I don't think he mentioned that it was the Shatter camp. We didn't get that until the 1.2 announcement.
Exactly.
He kind of alluded to it, that there was going to be like Chad camps coming. So I'm excited to see those. It'll be nice to have like an actual dedicated merit camp as opposed to like places that could be a merit camp or where you could work to 75. I mean, Romave behind the Moongate is kind of like the accepted place to go for a lot of that right now, which is fun. And, you know, the three of us, Ayame, Cal, and I, have spent a lot of time behind the Moongate with various levels of success. In like when our main tank can't be there and scummy cum-colored pearl people come and can't really tank. But we've spent a lot of time there. So it would be nice to have like an actual camp where we can go and wear our 75 stuff. Although we do though, right? We stopped syncing after a while when we were there at
Yeah,
75.
we don't sync anymore.
Like we were using all of our normal stuff. It'd be nice to go to a place that had like that required more than just like brain dead, like, oh, okay, you guys are skill chaining, we're gonna do this, and now it's dead, and just like doing it for hours. It'd be nice to have like some places to go that are better than that.
You know,
I'm looking forward to that.
even with that said, like the thing about even like the Moongate is like the stuff dies too fast, and like the thing that really makes your EXP good there is like constant fast pulling. It's not really how fast you kill the mob, because sometimes killing it too fast actually breaks your chain because you can't get like to the next mob.
Because there's nothing else to get. Luckily, we have Cal, who's an expert bard puller, so we don't ever really have to worry about that. But yeah, you're not wrong. Like if we kill it too quickly, if we're killing everything too quickly, then we don't have the chance for like to continue the chain because there's just nothing else to kill.
Is there like a camp or a mob type you guys would like to see, or like a zone, anything like that?
Anything weak to piercing? Yes, please give me bats and birds.
Colibri, coming.
Yeah, I know.
Your food fucked.
Right? Like my yellow curry, it's gone. Fuck.
Not my food. Not like
Not my
this.
curry.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool. It's something weak to pierce. I'd like to see multiple camps that each have a different like weakness. Like give us like a blunt weak camp, give us a piercing weak camp, give us a slashing weak camp, and whatever other types there are. It'd be great so that like, you know, honestly, I think that there should be, I would hope that there would be multiple different camps because, you know, once they drop this shit, everybody and their mother is going to want to be like, oh, I'm going to go bear. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. Let's go do it. So they're all going to be filled. But if there's like a ton of them, like multiple different kinds, I think that would be great because then like you could fit a lot of different people at a lot of different camps. And then you could like, you know, gear the party or gear the camp that you choose towards what your party is strong to.
A variety? What?
I know, right? It'd be nice.
The Adventurer Fellow was one of the other things you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
That's the Signal Pearl that came out once every like 55 days and stayed for 2 mobs and then gave you the deuces and rolled out.
Yeah.
Is that okay? I'm really hoping adjustments are made to that. Otherwise, why bring it back? Because it was fun, it was a novelty, but it was pointless to the long part.
Wait, didn't those get to a point where you could talk to them and you could access like your log house or something? Wait, no, I mean like
you could dress them up and stuff.
Couldn't you talk? I know you could dress them up. Like that was like one of the cool parts is that you could play Barbie dress up with them. But like, am I thinking wrong? Like, was it that thing that you could talk to and like you had access to like your Mog house or like the delivery box or something? Like, I mean,
that's something else, man. I don't think
maybe it was
that's
something else.
I do like the Signal Pearl and the Adventuring Fellow. It's perfect for certain people, okay? It probably isn't best for all of you guys, but I know for a fact that my dad's gonna use the freaking Adventuring Fellow all the time because he solos. He plays by himself because he's not like, I don't know, he's not like an optimal player. No offense, Dad, but like, you know, he's out there by himself. He's been 70
for like 2 months, right?
No, he barely hit 70 like last week.
Is your dad...
I'm kidding with him. This motherfucker, I love Stelius. All right, I'm going to call him out. I know it's Stelius. He's a great guy. He's absolutely, I love him. I love that he's your dad. I love that he plays the fucking game. This guy is a level 70 Dragoon, and he has full fucking relic from our Dynamis runs and can't wear a single fucking piece of it. And got the -1 gloves, which are the best Dragoon like AF relic piece. Got the -1 gloves. So this guy is going to level to 75 and graduate into some of the best Dragoon gear in the game and can't even fucking wear it yet. So I'm excited for him, but at the same time, lol.
Mud crabs have you killed?
Have you fought them? These ones?
That's a side story of me running. I teleported to Kuzat's, right? And I turn around and there is Ayame's dad. I'm like, "What's up, Mr. Cat?" You know, just send him a tell while I'm standing there. And I went to run off, and he follows me and he stops me and he's like, "Hey, mud crabs have you killed?" I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Come here." And then I run and follow him. He goes to those Air Plus crabs. You know the camp I'm talking about, right next
That's
to
like an
the outpost.
NPC.
Era Plus ones that you have to do a skill chain to lower their defense, right?
Yeah. It's
Yep.
the Magic Burn
Yeah.
camp.
Right.
And he's like, "I solo these, but this party's mad at me because they want me to stop killing them." And I'm like, "Oh." But the whole first part of that, I had no fucking clue what was going on.
Dodge has
Can't
wares.
type well. Can't type well,
Khajiit
man.
has wares if you have coin.
There it is. Straight
What was
straight
it?
NPC.
Mud crab you kill? Is that what you said?
Yeah, and I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "That's a Magic Burst camp, man. That's why they're mad." Like he's out there soloing their Magic Burst camp. It's
He's
kind of
out
funny.
soloing all the time. Yeah.
And as much as
will
Ayame hates it, her
benefit.
dad's fucking hilarious.
Everybody
funny
loves
dude.
him.
He is a
You know
funny
how
dude.
many tells I get from people? They're like, "I love your dad." I'm like, "Yeah, I know." He's not doxing me or anything, is he? They're like,
Well, no.
"No, he's just funny."
He told us something really funny about Ayame that I won't repeat here on the podcast, but told us a couple of her nicknames, and I think it's pretty hysterical. So I'll just leave that there. Won't say what they are, but I think it's pretty hysterical. Love you, Stelius. You're a great guy.
If you're watching
Keep-
this episode, please harass her for those nicknames. I'd
Keep
love to
doing
hear
what
what
you
they
do.
are.
Hi, Ayame's
Nope.
dad.
Hey!
All right.
Yeah, he'll benefit from the signal pearl though. Definitely.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, I guess there are a lot of players who like that's how they play.
Mhm.
They just want to like grind EXP on their own time, whatever. So, I hope Horizon has some changes that help people, like that's their thing.
They're never gonna do trust though, right? They've
No,
said
No.
that.
they're not.
Hard.
Yeah. Someone never be trust.
The last thing in that little grouping was new quests, and I actually do have a follow-up from last week's episode. I remembered as I was looking at the 1.2 announcement that the Mockhouse meeting they had, this chain of events. So in the last episode, Hookstar was saying that he's coding that Goblin Coif quest. You guys remember that?
Yeah.
And I said, wait, I've talked about this in the podcast. It's because in the 1.2 Horizon, the 1.2 Moghouse, when we did our episode on it, it was like new quest. I was like, I would love to see the quest that has this Goblin Coif. And so anyway, Hookstar says he's working on it. He actually sent me a message. He's actually done and has submitted it. So there's a chance when we see new quests coming to Horizon with 1.2 that the Goblin Coif / Choplix's Coif, it's a quest line, look it up, people, will be coming to the game. So if that's your jam, get prepped now. And you can run around with a little aviator goblin hat on too.
So excited.
Top tier log style. But I guess, new quests, if that one's coming, I haven't heard anything about like the Yagado helmet, like that one, or the Orc helmet as well. So potentially those things as well. My hope would be we get those because they're really cool log styles.
Isn't the Yag one already in? Doesn't Gan wear that LTL?
It's the Raven one.
Oh.
That's the bird. I don't think it's the Yagudo one. I don't think. I could be wrong. I think it's
No,
like the Raven one.
yeah,
have-
there might be two pieces that look similar.
I have quests that I want added.
Yeah.
What's that?
I want freaking escort for hire added. That's the repeatable one that you could get an EXP scroll of like from any of like the 3 cities or whatever. And then also the freaking Chocobo riding game. These were in era. Where are they? I want them.
The Chocobo right.
Give them to
and,
me.
Hot and cold or
No, not Hong Cold. The Chocobo riding game where you'll go and talk to like one of the NPCs that you go and rent a
Oh, I
Chocobo
forgot
from,
about
and she'll be
this.
like, She's like, hey, this chocobo actually has a destination. You want to take this chocobo to this destination in a specific amount of time? You want to do it? Yes, I would like to do it. Where is that quest for me? Thank you. Please.
These are mine and I want them now. JG Wetworth, 877 cash now.
These are in era. Where are they?
Didn't you get like some gil? Like what was the point of
you could get EXP scrolls.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's a free ride too, wasn't it?
Wasn't there also a quest that you could do, like only one person could do once a day, where you turn on the lights in Lower Juno?
Oh yeah.
You could still do. I've done it.
Is that a quest? Is it a quest that exists?
It's in there.
Okay,
it's in there. Yeah, I did it one of the days.
All right.
You talk to that Gelka and
what do you get for it?
Lower Juno. A little bit of fame.
Okay. All right.
I don't think
I didn't even know that was
noteworthy.
a fucking quest.
Yeah, like because you know how you can interact
It's
with
a thing.
the light posts. Like there's a few light posts that like up and down like the water side you can interact with. Like once a day, one person only can get the quest and then go turn the lights on and do the quest in Juno. Yeah, I remember that.
I had totally forgotten
If
about that
you-
till just now.
Yeah.
If no one accepts the quest, which happens often, there is an NPC Mithra that will go and light all of the light. You could start lighting them.
So if you take the quest, you're taking her job.
I don't know.
She's retired, dude.
Outsourcing kills another job.
I actually just remembered another quest. I think I was reading something in like the GitHub Discord, but do you guys remember in Bastock Metalworks where you have to like go to a bunch of question marks in time and you can get like a key ring?
Yes, the belt, right?
Yeah.
Skeleton belt or something like that?
Yeah. I was reading that. I think they've tried working on it, but there's something about the quest that makes it harder to code. So that's one I know that's not in the game that we could potentially have as well. It's a dumb little quest. I forget the exact thing, but you have like a time limit to go to all these question marks, and you get like a random item every week. It's like a once a week kind of thing. But little stuff like that would be fun. Next group of items I have here is the Horizon Adventure Assistance Program and the potential job changes. So basically, what are you guys hoping for from either of those things coming to the game?
Nerf Summoner, first off.
Fuck off,
Oh.
first of all. And second of all, so I want to ask you, Quetch.
Yeah.
I don't want to like go off on a diatribe. When you talk about job changes, does that include the message that they gave about the summoner party changes? Or is that a separate thing?
That. So yeah.
Okay.
So this would be the time if you have hopes and dreams for 1.2 for
I
that.
do.
This would be the time to bring it up.
So I'll start with the adventure assistance. As somebody who like helps out a lot of people to do old quests, and I know Cal and Ayame both do this as well. And I know DA at least used to help a lot when he had Goodwill, which no longer exists, and I'm sad.
Just rub in the wound.
No. This isn't rubbing the wound. This is like legitimate sadness. Like when I heard that he broke Goodwill, I like immediately put on the Pearl and saw that it was broken. It was kind of sad. Like not even kidding. Like kind of like it's like an end of an era.
You were first worried, is DA okay? That was probably your first.
No, I wasn't worried about you. I know you're fine because we talk way more often than we ever used to. But I was worried. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know why you would have broken that Pearl. I understand why you broke the Pearl, but at the same time, like I was kind of like, oh, it's like an end of an era. Anyways, so as far as the Adventure Assistance Program, literally anything that they could add for this is awesome. Like, let's be honest. Like, everyone in this group right now, everyone in this chat, like even you, Quetch, has gone back and helped people to do stuff that they've already done. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I don't like doing a lot of the COP stuff. I don't like going back through COP because it fucking sucks. But I will to help my friends. And I know that Cal, I think Cal out of the most out of any of us has gone back and done way more helping of people to get through stuff. Maybe Ayame is comparable,
No,
but
Cal's got
I know
me beat.
I know that Cal is like the man when it comes to like helping friends and people get through stuff that he's already gone through. So literally, in my opinion, anything that they could offer us, I don't care if it's like big stuff, little stuff, anything that they could offer us in addition to what we're already getting to help get through that stuff is going to be awesome. But I know how they do on this server, and I know that they go big or go home for the most part. So it'll probably be something pretty significant that they're offering as a reward for these. Even if it's an XP scroll, even if it's like one of those level 20 like Miratet's Memoirs scrolls,
Memoirs,
like
yeah.
to go help, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Like I used a couple of those the other day on my Black Mage, who's now almost 50, and like got like 4,700 or something XP from one of those things. I was like, fuck yeah, this is awesome. So I'm excited about that. Like whatever it is, whatever they decide to offer us, I'm excited. But now let's move on to the very much more pressing and important part of this conversation.
Hold on, I do want to add in a little bit more to the HARP.
Please do. Yeah, go ahead.
AARP, no, HAAP, Horizon Adventure Assistance
AARP.
He was looking at the screen too long, LTL, and he immediately thought AARP.
Hey, yeah, he's looking at my gray hair and he's like, "This old fucker." We're gonna talk about AARP.
He's on a ramble again. I better interrupt him. He's going to start talking about how he could. Back in my day, I could afford my own
boys better
house.
get off my
Nowadays-
fucking lawn. Get off my lawn right now, guys.
Nobody does work anymore like lighting light posts.
And nobody likes to light those light posts. They light themselves because y'all kids are too lazy.
People used to line up back in the day to accept that quest because
Get out of my log house.
they had national pride of being able to help out Juno.
Sorry. Please continue.
No, it's good. When Hook was on our last episode, he mentioned that he was looking to insert things directly into people's inventories, and that was his whole story. Remember, he was like, I had to ask a question, how do you put stuff in? So just to, where we can glean information, we try. So we do know that the intent is in some way to put something into the inventory, because I know when this first got announced, it was like, well, are they going to reward us EXP directly? Are they going to give us guild directly? Or is it going to be some kind of item reward? And it just from that snippet of conversation, it seems like we can begin to expect that something will be put to our inventory. That's all I wanted to add to that. It's kind of a little bit of extra info.
I think a scroll would be something that would be put into your inventory as well.
Yeah.
On the side with LTL, I'd rather get a scroll than pretty much anything, really.
Yeah, not even kidding. Like, honestly.
It's genuinely helpful for, like, the time you spent and everything else. Like,
yeah. It'd be fun is, like, a scroll and, like, a random item a la uninvited guests, some, like, huge loot pool. And it's just like, could be like a red rock, but it could be like an assault breastplate or something like that.
So Ayame can get more tiger's eyes? Is that what you're saying?
I got another tiger's eye from Justinius. He hates me.
So two turns ago, I got a dragon bone from uninvited guests, which is worth like 40k, which is not bad.
Oh, they're up.
And yeah, no, they're up now. So that was pretty good, 40k. And then on the most recent turn in, I get a motherfucking mushroom risotto.
Delicious.
I'm like, boy, that reminds me of Ayame, even though it's mushroom stew that she wants. No, I know. It's mushroom stew
I don't want that
or whatever.
risotto.
But it's like, I got the risotto, yay. So I sold that for 3k. So let's move on to the important part of this chunk, right? The
summoner changes.
Job changes. But most specifically, the summoner changes. So when they say party adjustment.
Yeah, you okay?
Okay. What I like to think about is not nerfs, because we've been down this road before. So some people say summoner's overpowered and like whatever, but like let's think about this. Let's be very logical about why people say summoner is overpowered. Yes, like when you look at Predator Claws sometimes or Flaming Crush, like, oh my god, 2k. But let's think about this, okay? So that's 2k if you have like the best summoner gear right now every 44 seconds. And some people are like, yeah, but it takes me 44 seconds to build up TP to do 2k. But it's like that entire 44 seconds that you're building up your TP, you're doing damage. Like you are constantly doing damage to build your TP up to do that 2k. My 2k is not guaranteed because summoners or avatars rather hit like a fucking wet noodle sometimes. Even with tuna sushi, they're not guaranteed to hit all of the hits on their BP. Whether it's Flaming Crush, which is 2 physical, 1 magical. Predator Claws, which is 3 physical. Slap, which is 5 physical, which it seems like only 1 or 2 ever hit ever. Chaotic Strike, which is 3 physical, which seems like, is hit or miss. So it's not guaranteed. So my hope for this change is that there's not any lessening of anything, because it just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would we make summoners do less damage? Like, their utility right now is like, if I'm really on top of it and I'm paying attention, and my friends like that are in the Sky God Kill groups that I've been in can see that I can keep up because of my BP minus stuff. I can keep up 3 buffs consistently. So if I'm in a party of Black Mage with my Black Mage babies, just like Ayame, I will keep up haste, refresh, and the Diabolos buff for my Black Mage baby. So I can keep up 3 buffs consistently. And even in between that, I can do, because those are all of my ward moves, I can do rage moves in between. Throw out Ramu and do a stun, like a chaotic strike or whatever. So as long as I'm on top of it, and I'm a summoner that has like the best gear that they can get in the game, I can do decently well. But like my move, like my actions per second, are more than just about any other job in the game because I am constantly doing something. So my hope for the party changes are that either A, we lessen the cost of BPs across the board while in a party. B, actually use, like we do in retail, hint, hint, use summoning magic skill to increase the buff timer on the buffs, which would be fucking awesome because I have fully merited summon magic skill. I have like all of the pieces except for the summoning earring because fuck paying people for that, to get my summoning magic up as high as it can. So with my enhanced summoning magic skill, I should be able to like cast buffs. So like, I think at the standard right now, even for people who don't have max summoning skill, if you cast your Titan Stone Skin or your Garuda Blink is like 14 minutes, which is great. But like none of the other buffs are benefiting from that. So it's like if I haste you, it's like 2 minutes 59 seconds or whatever. If I refresh you, it's like 2 minutes 59 seconds. Any of the other buffs, like Rolling Thunder, any of that stuff, is like 2 minutes 59 seconds. It shows up as 2 minutes on your timer, but I think it's just like
It's
a
just
second
under
below
3.
3 minutes. Yeah, it's like a
Sure.
second below 3 minutes. So my hope is that either A, like I said, we're lowering the cost of BPs, we're increasing the buff timer based on summoning magic, or we're allowing the timer to come down on BP recast. Those are my 3 hopes. BP recast is at a decent place if you have all of the BP recast minus gear. 44 seconds is the max right now, if I'm not mistaken. So I can recast any of my, whether it's my rage or my like buff stuff every 44 seconds. So that's in a decent place. I mean, 44 seconds kind of sucks, but at the same time, it's understandable. Like, you know what I mean? What I would like to see is, like, for me personally, is the like buff timers increased based on summoning magic skill. But barring that, I would actually really like to see the BP cast cost come down pretty significantly. I don't have numbers in front of me, but I do know that my rage, like Flaming Crush, for example, or Chaotic Strike, is somewhere in the neighborhood of close to 200 MP. Now, I'm sitting at over 1,300 MP on my Taru Summoner, which is nice and all, but like, if I'm constantly doing stuff, like if I'm buffing 3 buffs and I'm trying to toss in a Rage BP in between all of those, I'm out of MP pretty quickly, and I have to rest in between. And they like the people that we've had on here for interviews, whether it's Eric or Kipling, they've both mentioned this, that the Refreshka that Leviathan gets is a negative impact to the summoner. They've said those exact words. You cast that, it costs like 100 whatever MP, and you basically get back 100 MP. Yes, I can use wizard cookies. Yes, I have all of the HMP stuff that I could put on. So I'm benefiting slightly more because I've actually put the time and the effort into having those things. But when it comes to the actual cost, I would like to see that reduced. And I would also like to see the timer on the cast increased based on your summoning magic. So that's my diatribe. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you for sharing, LTL.
Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome.
Sorry, I'm awake again. What?
Oh, yeah. Huh?
I'm surprised you didn't want them to skill chain at this like the above 70.
That's an interesting point, and I'm happy to address that. So It would be nice if summoners could do light and dark. However, I am a fan currently of the way that it works, where as a summoner, I don't have to pay attention to what skill chain is going on. I can just throw in my Ramu or my Ifrit or my Garuda or whatever I'm using and just blood pact, my high level blood pact, and not interrupt skill chains. Like, in fact, the way it works right now is like, if somebody opens a skill chain, I use my blood pact after they do that, and then the person who's closing the skill chain closes the skill chain. It counts as if my blood pact doesn't have any element. Like, they can close the skill chain, and my blood pact makes no difference to what they're doing. I like that.
Yeah.
It's really nice for summoners because we don't really have to worry about like interrupting skill chains or what impact our like the element of our BPs are going to have. But it's a good point, Ayame, because I feel like when they talk about buffing for parties, they might be talking about that. But I'm just going to put this out there. Kippers, Eric, please don't do that. Leave it the way it is. It's fine. When TOAU comes out, we can readdress. Let's leave it the way it is because it's nice. It's really nice right now. Although I say that, and then if they add it, it'd be pretty nice to see like what Ifrit can do on a light skill chain, or Ramu can do on a light skill chain. I'd be interested to see it, but at the same time, I'm a fan of let's leave it alone. It ain't broke. Let's not fix it.
Cool. So these adjustments also include Beast, Thief, and Samurai. If anybody has anything they're looking forward to, or even still in regards to Summoner, if anybody has anything like to add, now's the time.
Weren't we told recently by an unnamed source that the changes to Thief are going to be fucking awesome?
Kipling had mentioned it in the Discord. He said that people are going to be pleasantly surprised. I forget the exact wording, but it was in reference to people were talking about job ability haste. I should have saved that screenshot somewhere. People were talking about job ability haste in the Thief channel of the Discord, and Kipling said something like, we're going to do something to help with that. It wasn't necessarily implying that JA haste was somehow coming to Thief, but and then it was followed up with something along the lines of people will be happy with these changes coming from Thief. Like, be really happy with them. So that's all I've gleaned so far.
But wasn't that then like confirmed as like true? Like the Thieves are really gonna love them by an unnamed source when we were talking to that unnamed source.
I've been told by another unnamed source that yes, they're going to be
Yes.
very good. We were not. I was not told. We were not told what those things are. But just to be looking forward.
We don't
to
know
it.
what those
Yeah.
are. But we know that they're gonna be awesome. Yeah.
Yes. Ayame, if you had something coming for Thief, what would you be interested in?
I don't know. This is like the first time that I've played Thief before. I was listening, I think it was actually you for one of your live streams, what you were talking about. Some of the job abilities that we don't have access to right now. But I don't know. Like, I've never been a thief in retail, so I don't know. It's all new for me. It's fun though.
How do you mainly use your Thief? Do you bring it to like the end game content, or do you do more soloing? What is your general use of it?
She's not allowed to bring her Thief.
I have a red mage. I'm not allowed.
Yeah.
So I'm banned from that. They're like, I'm like, hey, can I bring my thief? They're like,
No.
you could bring your red mage. Thank you so much.
Yeah. The only choice that Ayame gets to make in endgame content is, do I sub white mage or black mage? Those are her choices.
Red mage life.
Yeah, the only thing that I use my thief for is like the super chill merit party that I have with like LTL and Cal. And a few
Yeah, she
other
doesn't
people.
even like come help her friends when they need TH or anything. She just like
Hey,
does other
I
stuff.
was busy. I was doing something. I'm sorry. How many times do I have to apologize?
I already told you that would have been a mess of your time. I'm just fucking with you.
So you're playing Thief in a merit party then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
How does that
Paladin.
feel?
I keep the hate on the paladin.
How does that feel when
It's
you play
great.
it? Okay.
Like, it's snappy. Like, I have to, I close the skill chain with Sith, and he's on Dark Knight, and we just, I don't know. You're literally there to help keep hate on the paladin and fucking put out damage. That's all I do.
Yeah, open
I don't
/
know
close
if there's
skill
anything
chains.
else I can.
Well,
I will say it's been
I don't
interesting. It's been
open.
interesting to watch Ayame. Like, I've not really seen a thief grow. Like I've seen, because I've not really partied with one like I have with Ayame. But it's been interesting to see how like the progression of how a thief grows. Like when we first started, don't take this the wrong way, she was really weak. It was like she was doing like really weak weapon skills, and it was pretty much like if Sith and I were doing weapon skills, it was like, oh my god, look at all that damage, and like Ame was like, oh, I hope someday I can do that much damage. But then like she started to get more gear and put merits into her thief and like work on the thief and like actually have stuff. And now we're at the point where when we merit, like I'm just free weapon skilling on my ranger and doing like slug shot when I can, and her and Sith are going, and like when she closes those skill chains, it's like, you know, like 12, 13, 1400 that she's doing, and the light kind of matches that when she's closing light.
Yeah, it should
and
be
like, we're just
1-to-1.
eliminating fucking mobs, right? So it's been really interesting to see the progression of how a thief grows from like not having the gear to having most of the gear and like really growing in strength. It's been really interesting to see that, how that like goes for a thief. Because as a ranger, you don't even have to have like great gear. It's like, oh, Sidewinder's available. Like as long as I'm hitting, I'm doing mad damage. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And like now at 75 as a ranger, you have to like really start paying attention to the gear. You gotta start stacking your thief. You need your wind gorget. Like you need all the things to like keep up with the thief. So it's been really fun and interesting to see that like that pattern of growth.
You sound like a proud dad.
Well, no, it's not like I'm a proud dad. It's like I mean, yeah, I can see where you're coming from. But at the same time, like it's been really interesting to see like the growth of the character, the growth of the strength of like the job that she's playing. Because I remember hearing her frustration when we first started, like, oh, I'm doing a weapon skill, like, oh, whatever,
Sith,
whatever.
can you fucking stun? Can you stun
Right.
this?
Oh yeah,
Can
like
you
that
stun?
that was
Can
a
you
constant
fucking
thing.
stun?
Was like, make sure you stun so I can get off my SATA. And now it's just kind of like when he opens because he's on Dark Knight with like all of this badass gear.
He just
like,
pulls hate,
yes,
right?
He always
yeah,
turns, right?
Exactly.
It's turning towards him.
Such a great
And
dynamic.
Not always, but like
Most of the
80% of the time. 80%
Yeah.
of the time he'll turn it if there's not like Sentinel or some shit.
80% of the time, it works 100% of the time.
Do you feel you kind of know when he's going to pull
Yeah.
it and when he's not? Do you feel like you've kind of gotten a
We're
gauge on that?
in voice chat. We're in
Yeah.
voice chat.
No, but I
all
mean
the
like
time, all of us.
just his damage when you like know his weapon skill is going to turn it, even if he's not going to say anything. Like, do you feel like you have a gauge on the enmity of the?
We're getting into
he's
a rhythm.
basically he's
Yeah.
gonna turn it. But if Snooch is using Sentinel, I know I'm gonna use Hide. Like I just know.
There you
Like
go.
it's not gonna turn. So
So yeah, so you've actually like mentioned like the tools we have, right? It's pretty much just our sneak attack, our trick attack, and hide kind of helps every 5 minutes. But other than that, like we're opening or closing skill chains. And like for me, I would like to see just one or two other small things to be doing in combat. Now having played like Dragoon to a decent point, you know, just knowing Warriors kit in general, the other DDs, like there's just more options for them to be doing in battle. And our only other option comes from our sub job, but no thief wants to come off of like ninja sub job, right? Because you, especially with the like existence of Thief's Knife here, is like I'm giving away a joy use of my offhand for some extra JAs, like so I can be doing more in battle, and then like you get into battle and you're like, okay, I can sneak attack, I can trick attack, and eventually sometimes I can hide, but like our kit is like this big currently here on Horizon, and like personally, I would like to see some other JAs to feel like when I'm in battle, I have agency over like what's going on, rather than just like hit my timer, you know, land my sneak attack, and even that you have to land it. Like you've got a position, you've got to land it, which is fun, which is an interesting aspect of the job. But it's like if you don't, like you just feel further and further behind. So that's kind of what I'd hope for. But yeah, I just wanted to come back to your point, LTL, about the Thief's like growth progress is really interesting because our damage floor is not as high as a ranger. So like ranger gets to come in, they can just literally just equip all their strength gear and their weapon skills or whatever, and they're like doing like good damage. Right. Like thief is also like equally hamstrung by the fact that our weapon skills are dex based. So like they're losing like innate attack that just having your strength and the F strength modifier, the difference between the mod's vitality and your strength is called F strength. Like we're already like at a disadvantage when it comes to doing damage on like multiple angles. We've got to land our positionals. our weapon skills are based on dex, so we're at that deficit already. And of course, just being able to keep up with other DDs, like you've got to have nice gear to kind of do that, to kind of keep up that pace. There's a lot of memeing of like thieves just want to be warriors. It's like, why don't you just make us stronger, make us like warriors? And I think that there's sort of like this weird misunderstanding of like, what if I were to say that I want my thief to be a warrior? Like if I were to say that, it would have a certain couple of like points to it. Like when you look at thief and you look at warrior, warriors has extra JAs that allow you to boost your attack, other players' attack, generate aggro through their JAs. Thief, we have steal, we have mug. Obviously, those are part of a kit for like, different reasons. And we have like high evasion, while warrior gets like defender and stuff like that. But then if you start to look, you see thief has a variety of different weapon types it can use between blunt and sword, marksmanship, throwing. It's a varietal weapon type job, similar to the way warrior is. But warrior is proficient in all those different things it can use. It can use a polearm efficiently. It can use an axe efficiently. It can use a sword efficiently, a great sword, great axe, all those things. And for me personally, what I like to see with any kind of thief adjustments is just like taking what thief like wants to be doing and helping it do it better. Because right now it just feels like, we're struggling for air on like everything. If we're in combat, we have to be landing our positionals. We have to have great gear. But then we don't offer anything outside of that damage, but you don't want to boost our damage. It's like if that's all we're offering. I mean, enmity control, sure. But a Dark Knight or a Warrior could sub Thief and provide that exact same enmity control. So for me, I would just like to see, they said utility adjustments. I would like to see some utility adjustments and just help Thief do what it wants to do in battle and just a little bit better. I'd say maybe also increase its sword skill, because I may or may not be biased.
I've seen your offhand.
So little accuracy, Ayame. It's got like a 216 skill I have right now or something like that.
It's the same for war. Like if I offhand a riddle or a joy toy, my main hand hits constantly, and the joy toy's like, yeah, I procced, but you missed both attacks.
Yeah, I think warrior's like a C plus or something. You guys get like, I think like 30 more skill than we do, so it's not a ton more, but it is like 30 more accuracy than we have. Anyway, that's my soapbox on Thief. If anybody has any changes or anything they'd like to see come for any of those jobs or any of the others, now's your chance.
I'd like to see more TH.
Yeah?
I'm being honest. TH4 is nice, but at the same time, like, feels like the drops on Horizon kind of stuck. And
I still don't have that sachet.
I would, yeah.
Have you been doing it every week?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
I'm giving up at this point, honestly.
But I'd really like to see additional levels of Treasure Hunter. I know that, like, we're at 4. I know retail's at what, like 16 or something like that, or 13 or whatever it is. I'm not asking for 13, but I mean, like, and thieves, most thieves who are like main thieves have a lot of money, because a lot of them who started as thieves know what they're doing and know where to farm and know how to make money. I would really like to see TH mean more, because it's like, okay, I got TH4 and I'm coming out to do this stuff, but it's like, even on a 30% drop rate with your TH4, like, shit's still not dropping. And like, yes, of course, I don't have the numbers to back it up, and I haven't done it 100 times, and blah, blah, blah.
Where are your spreadsheets,
so
LTL?
So it's all based on perception, but at the same time, like, I mean, I look at a TH4 thief and I see things like not happening, and I would really prefer for, like, a thief to get to TH4 has to progress and do on Horizon things that they never had to do on retail, which is to collect all that weird shit for their necklace or whatever for the Nana's charm. And then they have to get the gloves and Dynamis, which isn't super hard, but they do it. And it's like, TH4 to me, and of course this is a perception thing, doesn't really feel like actual TH4. And I'm going to base this on kitty pants, okay? Like, and I know that like I feel like we've talked a lot about kitty pants, and like there's been a lot of discussions about kitty pants, and I'm talking about Byaku's Haidate, of course. You know, they've said that it's like what, like 25% or some number,
Yeah.
15.
and 50. Okay,
15.
15%, 15%. But with TH4, if you look at the chart, that means that it's 45%.
Sounds
That's
right.
TH4. So 45% with TH4, and I know people are going to be like, we're going to get in the comments like, yeah, but you don't have enough numbers. Blah, blah, blah. Like honestly, 45% like should mean, and I know how percentages work. It's not like 45% like cumulative or like, you know, across, like if I do 6, it should increase the percentage chance that I have over the 6 or whatever, blah blah blah. But it's like we have killed 9 kitties. We have seen 1 pair of pants. That
The
is
numbers
not
aren't numbering.
that yeah, exactly. That doesn't make sense in my brain. And like I know there's gonna be some math nerds or some fucking idiots out there that are like, yeah, but that doesn't
The
mean anything. Blah, blah, blah,
statistics
blah, blah, blah,
say.
blah. It's like
I mean, it's
yeah,
coin
but
flips,
like
right?
right, it's like so I'm leveling Black Mage, right? I've killed Centurio XI 3 times. And twice I killed it with TH1. I'm 1 for 3 on the Shaman's Cloak, which is a 30% drop rate. I know that those numbers don't exactly add up, but we're pretty close with TH1 on a 30% drop rate. I've seen it 1 out of 3 times. Like, I feel like, I don't know if it's a kitty pants thing exclusively, or if I'm talking out of my ass, and if I am, you can eat my asshole. But like, the amount of times that those fucking pants drop, and I'm not the only person that's complained about this, it just doesn't feel right. It doesn't make sense. Like, so let's look into that. Let's get this shit figured out. Like, I'm pretty upset about that.
Maybe it's coded as a drop slot. That's because there's, maybe it's like a 15% drop slot and not affected by TH. It would actually be interesting to see if it were somehow coded like that. I mean, I don't know if the code base has that, but that could be very well what you're experiencing. I know we've had a pretty low drop rate on ours as well. So
I think
everybody
bad
has.
luck.
bad. It could, yeah, I mean,
It's
45% is
RNG.
a coin flip, right?
We're sitting at about 45% on ours.
Yeah.
For the 8 or 9 that we've done, we've gotten half of those of kitty pants.
Damn.
Go ahead.
Kill it, despot. And then we'll talk.
All right.
Kitty pants, and then we'll talk.
All right.
I don't need them.
Moving on, I think I'm going to lump this next 2 groups together to kind of like move us close to the end of the podcast here. We've got potential level sync changes, level cap zones.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Potential level sync changes.
We're not changing level sync.
Hey, we have a new host here today.
There you
She's
go.
fucking awesome.
There it is.
She's doing a great job.
There's the potential change.
I'd love to have her on more, but like that's a whole different story. So go ahead.
New NMs, C changes, and absolute virtue.
All right. So absolute virtue is whatever. Like we all know that that's going to be interesting. I hope that like they've talked about how they're going to code it. Like wasn't it Kippers said like KA or not KA? That absolute virtue AV is going to be like some crazy new fight.
New from
akin
the
to
ground
KA.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's cool. I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to watch Colored Pearls get their asses handed to them.
That's free.
I'll keep doing it because fuck those people. Anyways, so as far as like the other things, like I'm interested to see a lot of those changes. C changes, like I would like to see organs drop more frequently. The Ix mobs are at a place that they're good. The lesser god mobs like Jailer of Temperance and Hope, those are doing okay. I mean, the one that's the 2 dolphins, which one is that? Temperance? The Temperance?
I think that's Hope.
Is that Hope? I forget which one it is. That sucks. I mean, like that's not a lot of fun, but I mean, it's not terrible. So the god pops are cool. I would just like to see an increase in organ drop rates. Farming those flower organs for your first OB or whatever, for my earring, my relaxing earring, that fucking sucked. Like getting 5 of those flower organs was a pain in the dick. That's cool to see. I'd like to see those changes.
Obviously, DA is not quite there yet with the C stuff. But Cal and Ayame, have you guys spent some time down there? Do you have anything you'd like to see come out of those sea
We farm
changes?
together. Like freaking LTL said, the organ drop rate needs to be fixed.
Yeah, we go in
Please.
there with TH4 and it's still horrible. But the other thing is, I think Sino was the one that like posted it somewhere about the organs like stacking instead of taking individual slots.
Oh yeah, the HQ organs. Can we get those to
Yeah.
stack, please? That would be fun. Thank you.
Instead of having 30 of my inventory filled with organs.
Yeah, the HQ one specifically.
Yeah,
That'd be
Yeah.
nice.
I wouldn't feel so bad about hanging on to those if they stacked.
Yeah, right. What were
I
the other
just wear
things on
them.
that list?
New NMs, level cap zones, EXP penalty rework, and level sync changes.
The level sync changes is the other thing I wanted to talk about. I would like to see, in my hope of hopes, I would like to see level sync, not the podcast, but the level sync functionality. I would really like to see that expanded beyond 10 levels.
100%. Double it.
I think like
Double it.
honestly, like wasn't one of the things, and like I mean maybe I'm talking on my ass here, and I do that a lot, but like wasn't one of the things where you could like get like a something through Horizon where you would like recruit a friend or something, and you like the person who recruited them
Yeah.
would get like an XP buff like with them no matter how far away in levels you were from them. Wasn't there something like that, like the Golden Pass or something? What was it? Wasn't
I
there
think there was a
something?
percent, like 5 or 10. It's something small, but yeah.
There was something, and I can't remember what it's called, but like there was a thing where you could like invite a friend to Horizon.
To
and-
Horizon, or do you mean to retail?
No, this was Horizon. This was a Horizon
Oh.
thing. Like there was a thing that you could do, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I know that there's a retail one. I know that there's the Golden Pass or whatever that you can like get into retail. But I thought that there was a Horizon thing where like you could have like your friend and you could like level with them or whatever, regardless of like level difference. Regardless of if that's true or not, I would like to see at least a 20 level spread in the level sync. It would really like if we're gonna add the harp thing and we're gonna make it so that like there's more incentive to help people get through old quests. Why are we not incentivizing people to level with other folks who are much lower level than them to get them leveled up, and so that I don't take such an enormous XP like.
Can confirm if you sync from 72 to 59, you get 70 EXP a kill while everybody else gets like 240. It's great.
I wish
That was
our
a good
gear
party,
synced.
though. Yeah, I wish that the gear retroactively sunk.
Please.
Whatever.
Sunk. Yeah, you sunk on Carbuncle. Go ahead. Yeah.
There it is.
I had
'Cause,
to bring
like-
it in one time.
Bruh, like I still got like bone +1 gear and beetle gear and shit taking up space. Come
Yes.
on.
Let us sync. Let us sync our gear. Let us bring it down. Scale that shit. I don't care. I just don't want to have 3 fucking body pieces. And I'm not like these guys that has to have the best for each area, each level. I have ghetto trash. So when I show up to a party and it's like a 48 party and I'm wearing level like 10 rings, I'd rather be able to scale my gear. Shut up.
You use level 10 rings on your level 75 paladin.
I can craft you
I do.
rings. You just tell me
Please
what rings
do.
you need.
No, Quetch, honestly, for
No,
his
no.
level 75 paladin,
No, no.
give him rings that
What does he
aren't
need?
level 35. He needs rings that aren't level 35.
All right,
There
I
you go.
got
You said,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got
Look at a
the
jelly
Vit
ring.
Vit one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
get
at
that
that
jelly
jelly ring,
ring
dude.
and
Oh, it
the
needs a
blood
jelly
bee
ring. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's get off fucking around with DA's gear and talk about scale the fucking level sync gear. Just add the 20 levels, 100%. Instead of 10, make it 20, make it a wider range, and let us scale the fucking gear. I'm tired
gear.
of it.
We don't
If
have
there's
enough
one change,
space.
if there's one change, let us scale the gear. That's all. You can keep the 10. Give me the gear.
I'm a red mage. I don't have space for all this shit. Please.
Yeah, we only get 2 wardrobes, and like if I have like 3 jobs that are nearing 50 or 75, like you guys do, where the fuck am I supposed to put that stuff? Like I just don't have space for it. Like it's
Well, like
so
Ayame's a red mage. I'm a bard. You know how much inventory space that
Mhm.
takes up?
Literally, your
Like-
Gallarhorn is there to save you inventory slots.
Yeah, if only I had one. But no, I think I have like 9 slots in one of my wardrobes taken up just from instruments. Like,
Yeah.
Eventually,
This is
I
our
think
hopes
it'll
and
get to the
dreams
point
for
if we
1.2.
can't scale the gear, it's gonna be what level's that party? Sorry, can't help you. I don't have any gear for it.
Well, we get a new
And
wardrobe
if-
with treasures, right? And we
Awesome.
get we also get what's the other thing you get with treasures? Where you turn
You don't
in
get any
your,
new gear with treasures. You just get a wardrobe, right?
Some
Mog
of the
locker.
gobby
Mog locker.
you get the
Yeah.
Mog locker.
and
that's
some of the
the other one.
gobby bag quests, right?
Yeah, and
We should get
yes.
Lynx leather. We should get Lynx leather and the Mog locker, which is you trade in
the coins,
the imperial coins to use it for a certain amount of time. Yes, please. But the problem with the locker, and I could be wrong here, is that you can't access it like you can access the wardrobe from outside of the Mog house.
Mhm.
You have to be in
Right.
your Mog house to access the locker.
Right, and probably
It's like the storage.
Right, like storage. Yeah.
Adding the gear slots is great and all for the locker and the new wardrobe, but we're also getting new gear in that as well. So
Sure.
it's almost like you're fixing a problem and adding a problem. They nullify each other out, and there's no again scale the gear.
Exactly, because and I've said this 100 times, and everybody knows, like TOAU's drops. I've got my new class to level. I'm gonna have to get a whole new set of gear for my blue mage. I have a lot of it. I have a fair amount. I still have to get my naders because fuck you, Cargo Crab Colin. But like, I need to get like a whole new set of like gear for my blue mage, and I'm gonna need somewhere to fucking put that. And if I'm at the point right now where like I'm leveling black mage on top of my summoner and my ranger, like black mage has equal amounts of gear as a red mage or a bard has, and like for all the stuff that I'm gonna have to swap out, where the fuck am I supposed to put that stuff? Like when I log into Horizon, I see the 8 Mog wardrobes that are supposed to be unlocked and I don't have. Like, come on, let's be a little less stingy with this shit. Like, give me the space. I need
You
the
click
space.
on it, and it's like,
Yeah, it's like, yay!
if not, Black Mage may be worse just from all the OBs and stuff you'd want to like min-max your
Yes.
shit and
Obies, all the
it's
gear, everything.
all the staves.
Staves.
Yeah.
All the staves, yep.
Yeah, I think that's part of my issue with doing a third job is like I like to play my jobs at like a certain level of like,
Sweatiness?
Sweatiness, yes. And like I literally don't have space to do a third job at that kind of level. So I don't know. You guys are bending me a little bit here, but I don't know.
Come on,
I don't know.
be one of us.
Ah,
One of
you guys'
us.
hopes and dreams.
One of us. One of us.
I only had
This
one
could
other.
be your hope and dream too. Come on.
I only had one other sea change, and I only bring it up because my link shell talks about it sometimes. But maybe getting rid of the quasi lumens from inside sea, and the whole like have the quasi follow you to open the door, or like just speed them up or something. Because right now, getting to like any of the NMs in there is such a chore, and it's just like really not a good way to spend time.
While I agree with you, it sucks. At the same time, like, I'm not going to say I'm a purist because I'm not a purist, but like, it's not that bad.
Speed them. I can see speeding up a little bit. I personally think they're good. Like I'm a bit of a purist when it comes to stuff too. Is like it's there. It's how the game was played. But like I don't know. We can spend 20 something minutes getting to one pop spot and the NM's not there, and then we gotta escape out and run the other way. And then like by then the question mark might have moved. So I don't know if there's a better solution there. But right now it's just unrespectful of our time in a way that I think could be adjusted.
I wouldn't complain if it was changed, but at the same time, it's not like it wouldn't be on my list of things
sure.
that like I would ask for to be changed. If I had like 5 changes that I could have implemented, it wouldn't fall in the list of 5. But I wouldn't argue with it if it was changed.
All right, moving on to the final group of things here. It's really just the HENMs, but I think Dynamis Tab, if anybody has anything they'd like to see from that. HENMs, I have collected some extra info. From different posts in the Discord. Would you guys like me to share that with you first, and then we'll just talk about what people might be looking forward to at the HENMs?
Yeah, talk about HENMs. Let's hear it.
So I have here some bits of information I've gleaned from the Discord, and I'll just go through them one by one. Somebody's mentioning that there might be a world pop for the HENMs. At first, we had assumed that maybe it's an instance content. How are they going to handle this? We have confirmation from Eric that it's going to be some kind of world pops, and he says, they asked, how are you going to prevent people from helping outside people if it's a world pop? And he says there's going to be a confrontation status. Only those with that status can interact with those who have it/the mob. He then goes on to say normal mobs can still interact with you. Hint, hint. It sounds like we're going to be able to, so similar to ZNM style, we're going to be outside, we're going to find a question mark in some zone, use that to spawn the HENM monster. Whoever's in that group, that 18-man alliance, will be able to fight it / interact with each other, but we will not be able to receive outside help, but aggro will still be a thing. So say maybe KRT in the skeleton area, I don't know, maybe where Virtua is or something, you know, there's an HENM pop there, you're going to have to also manage the aggro somehow, some way, whether you do it within Alliance or you have people come, a separate outside party, to kill any aggro that might be around. That's some information we currently have.
Does that mean that, like, you have to kill that thing in order to progress in the HENM, like, line? Because they said it was, like 4, 4, 3 or something, like, whatever the requirements are. Do you have to kill that one in order to progress on in the chain of HENMs?
We don't have confirmation yet, but the idea, I think, is still that there's a tier 1s, tier 2s, and tier 3s. At least in the ZNM system, killing any tier 1 would allow you to then fight any tier 2, but then if you wanted to fight another tier 2, you'd have to go back and kill a tier 1 again. Like, you get an item or whatever that lets you pop a tier 2, and then that tier 2 kill will let you pop a tier 3. And once you've killed all tier 3s, you can then fight.
You reset back to tier 1. Oh,
well,
the boss.
You fight the mega boss, yeah.
Right. Like in Einarjar, where it would be Odin. Right?
Yeah. So if it is ZNM style, it should be any tier 1 will allow you to then go fight any tier 2. I don't think it necessarily has to be, you know, the left side 1, 2, 3, the right side 1, 2, 3. Still unsure about that.
So are we thinking that the tier 1 HENMs are all going to be world pops, or just one of them?
I think the entire system is world pops. We're going to find a question mark.
Really?
And from what I'm reading here, and then Eric goes on to say they've moved them to some pretty interesting zones. He says there's open world pop in some pretty special locations. And somebody says, so similar to ZNM? And he says, yes, that's how it's being coded at the moment.
So another thing that's come up in relations to HENM, and I've talked to some people about this, is that, like, some of the HENMs are named pretty interestingly. One of them hints toward a crab HENM. One of them hints toward like a bird HENM, like a rock Simurgh style. They're hinting towards different already existing HNM mob types. I know what the hope is, but do we think as a group that, let's talk about the decapod one, right? Which is the crab, because in the game, decapods are called crabs, right?
Correct.
Do we think that, like, the decapod HENM potentially... okay, so I guess the first question is, are each of these HENMs going to have their own unique loot pool with something awesome in them? And then if they do, will they be comparable to their counterparts in the real world? Like, will the decapod one potentially drop something similar to the Swift Belt? Or not the Swift Belt, the Speed Belt? Speed Belt, yeah. Yeah,
so you've actually hit on a list of things that I would love to see. I'd love to see Trotter boots drop from the bird NMs, and I'd like to see... So the rare EX Speed Belt we don't actually have in Horizon. We have the crafted one only, but it's called like... You
mean, no, the crafted one is the one from the Speed Belt, the Sonic Belt.
Speed Belt to Sonic Belt, but remember when in retail, when they changed the mobs to no longer have the rare drops, to have the EX drops, they renamed the Speed Belt to something else. I would like to see that rare EX belt drop from the Dodecapod fight, for example.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that kind of like, obviously we can only speculate, but like...
Correct. I don't have any extra information on that.
Of course. Because Eric would never give up that kind of information, because...
It's a surprise. It's a good surprise if it does.
I prefer it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
But are we thinking that maybe that's what's going to happen? I know that's the hope, but like, what is the possibility of that being in the reality? Like, because let's put this into perspective. If we're going to do HENMs and there's going to be like, let's say that our dreams come true and the Decapod one drops the Speed Belt equivalent for the rare EX. And the bird one drops the trotter boots. And the what are the other fucking things? The scorpion one drops the equivalent to the circuit ring. Like, we're basically not eliminating, but we're adding on to what the Juno NMs are already dropping, right? And then we have the behemoth one that would potentially drop the defending ring, and the Fafnir one that would potentially drop the riddle, or like, and then they talked about in the Mog House thing where like the Dalmatica would have like different stats on it, but like would be class specific or whatever. Is the hope, is the expectation, I guess, that like we're going to kind of eliminate the need to be farming these HNMs like in favor of the HENMs, or will they just be supplementary, do you think?
Here's my thought is I believe they're looking to make it supplementary, and I do think this would be a smart choice, because one HENM cycle is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's 9 fights and then the final fight, essentially making it like a month rotation for you to even fight. Say you wanted to fight the Rock, say you're looking for the Trotter Boots, you'll be able to fight that once a month on your rotation.
Right.
Assuming you have to get to the boss and then loop back around. We don't actually know. As opposed to Simurgh, which spawns once a day.
Right.
So if you are adamant about getting that specific item, your time would likely be spent more tracking that TOD and fighting that thing daily than it would be hoping when you come around to this NM again, you kill the mob, you kill that HNM, and it drops the item. And you're in a party of 18 people now. You're not low manning it like you would be for Simurgh. So personally, I think there's a possibility we see, say, Riddle in the Fafnir pool. So the tier 3s are Behemoth. They're a Behemoth variant, a Turtle variant, and a Dragon variant. Fafnir variant. That's the tier 3s. If they have Defending Ring, Riddle, possibly even Abjuration drops, again, you're still looking at this month rotation to get kind of one shot at these things, as opposed to the camping every day, which will be beneficial to your LS as a whole in terms of, the amount of items added to your LS or to the economy, the LS economy.
So I think that's interesting because it's like, so we're talking about like if you're doing it and you're able to successfully kill these things, your LS or your 18-man group, which could be like 2 or 3 groups depending on the size of your LS, have a guaranteed shot at these things dropping, which would be similar to the chance that the normal mob would actually drop them. It might actually like incentivize some of these larger, like disgusting LSs that have like 800,000 people to like lessen their numbers because there's not as much incentive
Splinter
to
down.
like go. Yeah, you might like it might make sense where like you have certain LSs that like say they're number 1 and have like 6,000 people with no skill that they throw like 8,000 people at a mob and have like an alliance of 18 white mages to heal them because their paladins suck. Like you might actually like lessen their numbers
Necessity.
because then they take the people that are actually good from those LSs and do the HENMs and then kill that stuff and get gear. I think that would be great because isn't one of the things that like Eric and those guys have been saying is like they kind of want to eliminate the giant LSs kind of monopolizing everything? I mean, isn't that one of the hopes?
Even Eric being on our podcast had said that they wanted a system where a smaller LS had a shot.
Right. So I think that the addition of what they mentioned in 1.2 where all of the kings will be spawning in their original zones as opposed to like the 4-zone system now, plus this HENM system will give low man link shells a much better shot at getting the gear that they want and might have a knock-on effect to these giant like let's throw 8,000 people at this mob LSs that aren't very good at what they do. Yeah, that'd be great. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think it would be good and healthy for people in that, if you have a solid, 18-man core, but maybe you partner with another LS for like Dynamis runs or something. People in that range, which I think you guys are kind of in a similar range.
Yeah, that's kind of that describes us right now. Yeah,
it just gives you more content to be doing with each other, and the necessity to have X number of 100 people in your LS just to have a chance at a claim for something is like doesn't need to exist. People should just be playing with the people they want to play with, rather
Mm-hmm.
than sort of like churn and burn kind of mentality that
Right.
DKP offers, for example.
Right. I mean, that's really awesome to hear. Like, you won't have to have people in those LSs leveling Dragoon for their white mage just to drop aggro from their white mage because the rest of their team sucks dick. I mean, I'm happy to hear that. That's awesome.
I have
I'm
one
taking
more.
specific swipes here. They can eat my asshole. But anyways, go ahead.
I have one more thing to add, but I want to give the others a chance. Did you want to add into anything about H&M's being open world or anything to that conversation?
No, I'm just excited to get to do the content. In all honesty, I think it'll be fun. It'll be a change. It's something we haven't done before. And like you said, it kind of gives you that ability to cycle through that each month, right?
Mhm.
And then also still camp your H&Ms and give you a double chance to get gear from each one. And who knows, they may add some stuff. Like they already showed that AyameCat with the job specific traits on it. Like
Yep.
that's pretty cool in my opinion. And I'd like to get like into that and start doing it. Like I just think it's all kind of neat.
Yeah, that's part of where the conversation's been for us, because if we're looking at a Fafnir at tier 3, is that going to be the thing that drops the Dhalmatica that has the different properties to it, or is that final zone where we get the really interesting new gear and they add some of the older gear to the lower tiers? It's like for us, it's kind of an unanswered question because we feel like they could go either way. And when I say us, I mean like my group that's been like workshopping how would we handle H&Ms once they release.
I feel like the mobs that already drop those things will be the mobs that drop them in H&Ms. Like it makes the most sense, right? Like so for Dhalmatica, you're probably going to see that from like the Faf/Nidhogg variant, and like doesn't the turtle drop that too? Yeah, you're gonna see that
Right.
from like
So
turtle
yeah, which
as
you
well.
add it
Like
to,
you can
but
see
yeah.
it from either. Exactly. But I think like that dragon that they showed us, that new really cool looking like lightning dragon or whatever it is, hopefully it'll have a whole new like pool, because like when
Right.
Eric was talking to us about like the Haubergian, where it was like you get the Haubergian and like you trade it in for something, and like each class can have their own unique set of stats. Like it would be really cool if like that final dragon drops something that could be used by multiple classes, that isn't something that's already being dropped by something else, that we could then turn into something even more powerful depending on what class we're using it on. I think that'd be awesome.
I have one final addition here.
Before you move on, Coach,
go
remember
ahead.
they said they were going to alter the loot pools for the H&Ms
Also true.
to be like tank here, mage here, DD here, so they could correlate that to what drops in the H-E-N-M section 2. So if you're looking
True.
at it like, I think it was it Behemoth that was DPS, or was that tank? I don't remember when they were talking about it.
Probably tank
tank.
because it drops the defending ring.
Yeah, but if you look at it from like the perspective of that, then you could kind of like, you see where my brain's going with that.
It's
like,
it's easy put together.
Yeah, we need to go do tank stuff for H-E-N-M. Okay, we're gonna go down this tree and do this, right? And then you get what I'm saying.
Yeah. So because right now like Dhalmatica drops from either Nid or Aspie, but in the refresh system, if Dhalmatica drops from only Aspie, we could expect a similar thing in the H&Ms. Is like Aspie is the one who has it.
Well, think about it. It's
Or
like
some variant of.
for turtle, it requires a lot of mages to kill it. Like you
Right.
can do the spirits within thing, but like ultimately, if you're like when it's out of its shell and you're skill chaining, your black mages are going to be like the most powerful ones in that fight. So makes sense for turtle to be mage. The behemoth already drops the defending ring.
And it's really
which-
the tank carries that fight too, man. If you don't have
Yes.
a good tank kiting, like that's your strat.
Exactly. So like I feel like the behemoth would be the tanky one. And then Fafnir already drops the riddle. So like why wouldn't we make that the melee one? Like
Right.
it kind of falls in and it makes sense the way that like those things are already broken down. I mean, don't quote me here, but I feel like if they're gonna break it down so that like each one is a specific like type, that would be
Carry over.
how they do it. Yeah, that would be how they do it.
So the one last thing to add is directly from Eric. There is new custom weapons that will drop from the H&M system. So not just armor, not just the armor we saw, but they're also adding custom weapons.
I'd like to see something comparable, less powerful, but comparable to relic weapons.
And quoting one of the devs who is currently working on it, I don't even know if the devs will be able to beat this one.
Ooh.
So that's a little note about difficulty.
I mean, we talked to them. They said they weren't playing much anyway, so.
Yeah,
True.
they're not playing much.
They're like level
And
50.
Fucking scrub.
And I saw Kipling's first attempt at Nidhogg, so they're not very good.
Yeah,
as a
After
whole
that, we're just
anyway,
gonna
so,
see
yeah.
DA's character in more than the whole fucking like a month straight after calling the devs scrubs.
Perfectly fine. I'll play some Cyberpunk.
Anyway.
I'll be good.
It's a bunch of stuff to look forward to with H&Ms. I think we've gone on long enough. I'm going to toss it over to DA just to give us a little bit about Extra Life and the stuff you've been working on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Extra Life. It is October. We're doing it from the 1st to the 31st. You may catch any of us on actually streaming and being able to promote this as well. We're going to put the hyperlink to the Extra Life in the description, so please click on this. It is raising money for Children's Miracle Network. We chose one of the children's hospitals out in Hawaii due to the recent fires. We do. I've done this for the past October for the past 2-3 years. Everything on stream for this entire month, any kind of subs, donations, etc., they will automatically get sent over at the end of the month. I calculate all of it up, so this is basically a non-profit month that I do. Quetch, you're familiar with Extra Life as well. You've been doing it in the past as well, right?
Yeah, I did. How many did I do? 24 hours, 12 hours? I don't know. It was Up in Arms, the fight for the Kraken Club on retail. 12 hours of Up in Arms. We ended up doing like 200 runs, and I didn't get a club. So
it's great if you're able to donate to a great cause for this month. And again, check out the link. But this year is the first year I've decided that we're going to be doing incentives, especially since I have a crew with me, this Level Sync crew. What are some of the incentives that you guys have actually put on the board? LTL, you hold. I love yours. Cal, what's some of your incentives?
I think the lowest tier one is I'll help you with something in game. Doesn't really matter what it is. Another one is I'll play without my hat on, since nobody's ever seen me without my hat on.
It looks like a cop. It looks like a cop.
Don't trust him.
And then my third one was a 12-hour stream.
Yeah, I think it was. And some of these are able to be claimed more than one time as well. So just a heads up on that. Quetch, what are some of your incentives?
Mine'll be like, come treasure hunt something for you. Similar in the vein of what Cal's doing. And also play the Chocobo theme on guitar. So that'll be like something you could redeem on my stream, on our 24-hour stream on the 21st to the 22nd. So definitely follow the Level Sync Podcast Twitch channel for that.
Yeah, we'll be doing a 6-hour rotation for 24 hours for all 4 of the hosts on here. And speaking of 4 hosts, LTL, what are some of the incentives that you have on here?
All right, so some of you may know this. I used to stream a lot. I used to stream 6 days a week, and it was kind of my life. But now I've like upgraded to owning a home and having a person in my life that I actually care about. So I can't really stream as much as I want to, which is basically none at all. However, what I've added to the Extra Life is for $50, and I have 3 of them available. For $50, if you donate $50 at one time, with like I said, there's 3 of them available. I will sing and play a song for you. I will choose the song because I don't know a ton of them, and I don't get a lot of chance to practice the guitar these days.
Freebird!
But I do know quite a few songs, and I will be happy to play and sing one of them for you. And the other one, now this is a big one for me. Okay, like I've mentioned, I haven't streamed in a long time, but one of the things that I used to be famous for was my cooking streams. DA can attest to this. Every Saturday, so every Monday, I would stream and have a raffle. And whoever won the raffle got to choose what it was that I was making for dinner on the Saturday cooking stream. Whatever it was. Didn't matter what it was. If it was beef Wellington or Thai Lasca or lobster bisque, it didn't matter. I would make it. I used to be an executive chef, former executive chef, so I can make pretty much anything, and I can make it really well, and I can make it look pretty. I have my own personal set of really fancy knives, and I have a beautiful kitchen now. For a single $200 donation, I will do a cooking stream again for the first time in 2 or 3 years. I will do a cooking stream in my big new beautiful kitchen for you. You can choose what it is that I make, but you have to make sure to donate that $200 and choose that. And LTL will finally come out of cooking stream retirement and make for you whatever it is that you choose.
I love that you let them choose the menu too.
Absolutely.
You know somebody's gonna be like tuna helper.
I'll literally make anything. And you know what?
Clam
The thing is,
shatter.
here's the thing. Like, you could have me make fucking SpaghettiOs and garlic bread, and I would still make it look fucking fancy. So bring it the
Nice.
fuck on. Hit me with whatever you got. Spam and hot dogs, let's do it. I got it, baby. Whatever you got, I got it.
I look forward to somebody bringing you at retirement. Some
Let's
of the incentives that I have on there is a costume stream because I have multiple different costumes. Don't judge my personal life. Shaving my head, that's something I can do that LTL cannot, unfortunately, and Quetch is unwilling to.
I
I
said
mean, I could, but it
10
wouldn't be very exciting.
10 grand. Anybody donates 10 grand in one shot.
If they did 10
the
grand to
children's
shave your head,
hospital.
you gotta mail them your hair too. So they can, like,
Whoa,
make a
whoa.
shrine on the wall or something.
Your hair, like, soaked in your own bath water. Yeah, for 10
Ooh,
grand.
There you go. And I also have one where I'm really hoping nobody claims this one. It is a 24-hour stream on my channel, and it's just 24 hours of straight clamming. I enjoy that, and I don't think I can do it for 24 straight hours, but I did put it on the board. So we got a bunch of other ones we didn't bring up on there, but it is an incentive for this entire month.
And that'll be linked down below.
Yes. Linked below. A few of us are going to be streaming on our own channels at any point in time. If somebody donates and claims one of them, I'll do it on my channel for shaving the head or whatever it may be. But we do have the 24-hour stream coming up as well, where we'll all share a 6-hour block. So that's going to be wonderful, passing the baton between each one of these guys.
Yeah, I've already come up with the conclusion that I'm going to gather some of my close personal friends, and we're going to all put money together. And we're all going to donate at one time for your 24-hour clamming stream, because I don't personally think, and I know that you will do your best, and I know that you will put in as much effort as you can, but I don't personally think that you can make it 24 hours doing nothing but clamming. I don't think you have it in you, so I want to see it. So get your butthole ready, because it's coming.
We might be able to put a side bet on that as well.
I'm ready. I will put down money on that.
You doubt me. You doubt me in my claim ability. I've taken a little break from claiming for a month and a half just so I can be prepped in case somebody does that.
I don't think you could do it for 24 hours.
And that is one thing. One other thing I wanted to bring up. If you're unable to donate, please feel free to be able to share this link. This link is available for anybody and everybody to be able to use on your own streams, because this is going. All the money's going to the Children's Miracle Network. So if you're unable to, feel free to share it. I already posted it on my personal social media, my Facebook page even. But you can do that, or go with LTL. Pool it all together and pick what you want. Get his voice box hurting, because he has 3 claims of songs on there. Hit him with all 3 of them. But
I'm streaming in October for this, and I haven't streamed in like 2 months, so that should be
knock
fun.
the rust off.
Well, I'll tell you this: the missus is leaving between the 22nd and the 25th, right before we go to Hawaii. So there's a chance that you might see some LTL streams in that time. Just gonna throw that out there.
Okay.
It probably is gonna happen, because I'm gonna be lonely. So it'll probably happen.
it's all for a good cause, guys. It's all for a good cause.
All right, last thing I want to throw out there is if anybody has anything pressing for Glitch Fest, we'll hear a quick story or 2 at most, but we've been running long. But if anybody has anything.
I got stuck on the floor. When I killed everybody, I murdered everyone, and I got stuck halfway in a step. Everyone's dead. I was able to kneel, heal, unstick, run over, get the question mark. No idea. I don't know if it was because the game was like, this guy's a fucking idiot and broke, but I killed everyone, and I was the only one not to die. That's my only Glitch Fest.
Nothing today.
Just that overlay of like when we went to go tango with a tracker or whatever with those ghosts and skeletons. And then my most recent party, I think in Romov or whatever, I saw the freaking tiger doing the tangled body thing again. I got clips of it finally, because it looks so weird on the tiger because it opens its whole mouth.
Share those clips. Let's have Quetch put those in so that we can see that. I'd love to see
I'll
that.
give them
Yeah,
to
Let me
them.
put a
Make a note,
note.
Quetchy.
A horror movie tiger clip.
I'd like to see that.
All right. That's going to do it for this episode of Level Sync. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Ayame, for coming back and joining us. And
Thank you for having me.
I'll see you all in, let's see, Dragon's Airy.
That was smooth. Yeah.
I was going to say El Teo, but yeah, let's do it.
It's like you're a professional.
Peace out, everybody.
Better.